Hello to you. How are you doing? I'm back. I know it's like really late. This is late, even for me being late. I did this whole look. So today's look is Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. It's about to not even be Sunday anymore. So good thing I got here in such a timely manner. But I suppose that's what Sundays were all about at one point or another. So before we get too into anything, I'm noticing that my view counter and timer is gone on the Twitch Studio, um, the beta, but not on the web browser. And I don't remember what ended up rectifying it last time, besides like exiting out of it and rejoining it. So hopefully something works because it does get it's almost more annoying for my eyes to constantly see something that's like supposed to something is missing, you know, than it is a need because I at least can see my pre-roll ad timer, and that's the one that matters. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'll be right back after these 3 minutes of ads so we can get control over our socials. See you soon. Hmm. Well, might just get annoying. Anyway, how's everybody doing? How are you doing? I should say. Dear sweet workers of the community, always appreciated, especially when it's late, once again. But I really expect to turn out when I'm starting well after midnight. No. Personally, I don't think so. Uh, there's so many things this past couple days that I was like, damn, we should bring that up on the stream. Yeah, we should talk about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but of course, it just does seem like um, one, I forget a lot and I don't want to write it down because it seems disingenuous. Two, a lot of things seem important for a time to me, mostly a cyclical thing. And then I realized maybe they're not that important after all. And that just tends to happen with me. It just is what it is. Sometimes I feel more passionate just because I'm feeling more angry. Sometimes I think I care about something just because it's consuming my time. Um, and that's kind of why I don't commit to certain discussions because in a moment throughout my day, it might feel really important. But by the time I sit down, I figure there's a reason I've forgotten it. So lots of little things come up that I want to be able to share, but it's not always so clear what those things are. Like, I was kind of thinking about how I've been pretty sad the past couple days. And there's honestly not really that much I can do about it. I do all the things that make me happy on a regular basis when I'm not feeling particularly sad like I am today, which of course does lean into the fact that I have PMDD. Like, that's what causes the sadness. So I like realize, which this is something I keep realizing, quite honestly. It comes up, every other month or whatever, where I notice that I get this extraordinary sadness at this time, and there's like again nothing I can do. It's like I can do all the things that make me happy in a day, and it still just wouldn't be enough. But I how to say that I trade off. So every uterus that sheds blood switches which side of it is shedding, right? So, like, when one of mine goes, it's very sad, very somber, very needs affirmations, attention, love, feels unloved, feels like nobody likes them, blah, 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 blah. So, that's me like every other month. Right before I get my period, I'm like depressed. And the other months are when I get very aggressive, very angry, very not well to do, sporadic in vile behavior, vile tongue, angry, raging mad. But the fact that it trades off is just like such whiplash because then I think, oh, I've overcome something, I've changed, I've done it, I've figured it out. It's finally better, and it's not really. It's just different. So after a long day, a long few days of just combating that general lonesomeness or isolatory mindset of like, yeah, nobody fucking likes me, dude. And as much as I can casually say that throughout the month, these are the times where it actually really hurts to know, like, oh, yeah. And the reason most people that don't like me is because of the stuff I've done under the influence of my hormones. That sucks. And nothing can stop these bitches. Okay, whatever. So this profound sadness that I feel once in a while seems like an easy choice between this and rage because it's so much less destructive to be sad. But something I'm realizing in real time, one of the craziest things to me about this back and forthness is that I I guess I just feel like death either way. Because when I'm raging fucking mad, and feeling that uncontrollable anger that does come with PMDD, I want to fucking put myself down. It's not even like a normal, like, Oh no, killing yourself. It's like a put me out of my misery, put me out of everyone else's misery, put me down like a damn rabid dog. Like that's the vibe of like actively wanting to harm, just in general, wanting to harm, right? That's when I'm angry, popping off. Like it's the worst. It's terrible. It's like, man, if I could just lobotomize myself right fucking now, if I could give myself such a bad head injury that I calm down, I would love it. Like it's fucked up. But when I'm sad, when I have no desire to die, no reason to feel like I need to put myself down or some crazy shit like that, there is this, once again, profound sadness. It's like a very profound sadness that it's all my mistakes flashing before my eyes, but all of a sudden my whole life is flashing before my eyes, and instead of actively wanting to like do it myself, it's this feeling of, oh, am I dying? Are all the memories of my life flashing before my eyes because I'm about to die? Am I dying? Am I sick? Am I sick and I didn't know it? Do I need to go to a doctor? Am I dying? It's like I'm dying anyways. Like even if I don't actively want to. So again, the trade-off is not much of a trade-off, that's for sure. But I will take the inexplicable sadness over the uncontrollable rage every time, anytime. I don't get a choice. It's just every other month. But I, if I somehow could just be extremely sad and think I'm dying versus being extremely angry and wanting to die, I mean, that would be terrific. Terrific. But for some reason, my eggs, my ovaries, they just disagree on how to handle things. It's bizarre. One of them's obviously more fertile than the other one. I think the sad bitch is the fertile one, but I'm not sure. Um, God works in mysterious ways, you know. And this is exactly why God is not a woman. I'm so sorry. Whoever told you that? If God was a woman, she would have never done this to women and people assigned female at birth. I'm just saying, this was definitely a man's plan, you know. We're vulnerable because ours is on the outside. Did you make us fucking cramp and bleed for fucking days on end for most months of pretty much our entire lives? Like, fuck no. It was not a female design. You're joking. That was a man. That was a man. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Anyway, I'm just grinding up some weed right now. I like to have it pre-ground in this little canister so I can just easily pack bongs or roll joints. I'm a fucking cutie pie. And I am not really feeling like doing much. I don't really feel like painting. I don't really feel like doing tarot cards. I do feel like I could talk. I also think it might end up being pretty slow tonight, so it's the big deal. Anyway, thanks for being here, by the way. Um, some good lurking tonight. That's great. Uh, yeah. So today's look, last minute, I'm talking to my bestie, like, hey, what's tonight's look gonna be? She's like, I don't know, it's a Sunday. Thank you. I was literally just talking about that. That's so funny. So, hi. Uh, Me and my bestie trying to come up with like a theme of the night. And we're like, damn, it's just like so Sunday right now. Like, comfy, it's a Sunday. So I was like, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday is the theme, right? So if you remember what I'm referring to, back in like probably more like the early 2000s, they used to have those like Monster Jam, like a monster truck shindigs, the meetups with the monster trucks, and they would advertise it when it came to your town. And they'd be like, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. And where I was, it was at the Pontiac Silverdome, which doesn't even exist anymore, which is how long ago this was. Um, Grave digger. Exactly, exactly. So, the theme of the day is Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. But plot twist: when I was an old teen, like a late teen, my friends and I would like trip pretty much every Sunday. I know it's like not the healthiest sentence to say out loud, but it is true regardless. So me and my friends would trip like every Sunday. So like when we all hung out to trip balls on Sundays, we'd be like Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. So today's theme is that Sunday, 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 but it's like psychedelic monster trucks. So it's like this side says Sunday, 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 and this side says Monster Truck Jam Band. That's the look of the day. So that's cool. Glad you like it. Glad you like the makeup. Thanks for all the presents. I've gotta go. No, I'm not going anywhere. I just started. That's amazing. That's literally that guy gets it. That's the vibe of the day today. So, what do you know? I love that. Mike, super short show. Super funny, super cute, super cool. I'm so glad that like the only person who's talking to me right now actually got the reference. That's like really incredible. I really appreciate that. Because it is oddly specific, right? I also feel like it's funny because feel like growing up without cable is part of the reason I saw that ad so much because it was a local ad, like it would be like when they were in town or whatever, right? But then I noticed like when watching Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network and shit, it'd be like sugary cereal and toys and stuff for kids that you want to buy. And so we had to watch like the non kid oriented channels to see it kind of. I don't know. Maybe that's not true, but it does seem that way, right? Wow, that's cool. I think that I don't really like loud environments. I do like loud environments because I love going to shows and stuff, but I don't like environments in which they're loud and I'm expected to not be loud. You know, like if somebody's got the music up really high, but then they have the audacity to tell me to turn it down, it's like, well, I need to hear what I'm saying out loud or I won't really know, will I? Like, well, oh yeah, yeah. So it's so funny. This is so funny too, and I think it's honestly appropriate. Probably makes a lot of sense, and has always been this way due to networking and whatnot. But I noticed that when I am on my own Hulu, I get ads for like wine and scary movies and home insurance or whatever. But my when my nieces are watching Hulu, they get the ads for like LOL dolls and stupid cartoons and stuff like that. So that scenario is probably the last time that I did see some kids ads. Yeah. Um recently my partner and I said we were talking about commercials, I think. And he just like randomly pulled up those old Snapple commercials where they're like a piece of fruit, like a fruit head. And it's they're very weird. They're very uncanny. And that was like a campaign from the early aughts, I think. It's just so weird. Yeah, advertising's always been really strange. It's funny to see how it's evolving to a degree, being like influenced by social media and just the general way that people conduct business, which is like far more informal than it's ever been, especially as corporate entities do things like use social media or let 21-year-olds run their accounts. Um, but there's never really been a time where advertisement wasn't very strange. And obviously, there's never been a time where there wasn't strange people. Oh, yeah, same. I definitely have a photographic memory and borderline it's audiophilic too, I suppose, but man, there's too many jingles in there. I actually wish I could alleviate some space of the jingles to like things that I'd rather remember than fucking commercial jingles. You know, like I do not need to keep singing these. Same with like theme songs, I guess. Just anything. Um, yeah, that's funny. I've been thinking a lot, or too much about some of these nostalgic subjects, and it's not even for nostalgia as much as I feel like really again so much, yeah, right, so much at a crossroads to a degree of feeling like, oh, I miss the old world and oh, maybe the new world is better for the environment actually, and to a degree. Obviously overconsumption and overproduction and over deliverance is bad, right? Um instantaneous shipping or purchasing is really, really bad. Um, but we have a lot. Anything that can be digital is now pictures, papers, letters, emails, right? Um, CDs become, Spotify, and a lot of me gets really nostalgic for like the old processes of things, where you go and you find whatever is there for you to have, right? Instead of like searching something on the internet and getting all of the results and all of the options, all the choices. Like an example would be, I was 17. I went to Rothbury. I saw the Dead, and I like fell in love of, with the whole culture, everything. I had already been doing drugs at that point, but no, I hadn't been doing well. I've been doing lame drugs at that point, like popping pills and smoking shit. But that was when I experienced like a bunch of other stuff, right? Yeah, exactly. It was way more serendipitous. So I got into the Grateful Dead after going to that fucking festival. It was my senior year of high school. And my boyfriend at the time took me to Best Buy. It was, I think, it may have been Black Friday. I don't even remember. It was winter time. I remember it being cold out, and we both had pea coats. I don't know why. I remember like random details like that. And I wanted a Grateful Dead CD. I wanted to know more of their music. Like I wanted to know. I wanted to be able to listen to them, and they only had so many options. Like they didn't have their entire fucking catalog at the fucking Best Buy because there's not that many Deadheads going to fucking Best Buy looking for Grateful Dead CDs. It's gonna be a once in a while random thing. So I wanted to get something with some songs I knew and like kind of like as many songs as I could. And I don't remember. I feel like it was the only CD they had was Two Terrapin, Hartford, Connecticut, 1977, the Terrapin Station era. And it's still one of my favorite CDs, but like is it the best? Is it my actual favorite? Or is it just that life handed that to me and said, this is the one for you? And you don't get to do that anymore. It's all algorithm based. It's all, oh, well, your friends and peers of your age group are listening to this, so you'll probably like this, or based on these likes that you. It's like, man, that's the most predictable shit that I could possibly fucking think of. That sucks. Like, oh, how boring, you know? So I just think about that where it's like, yeah, it probably is more environmentally friendly to not be making CDs made out of plastic and paper and printing and yep, exactly. Because it was like I'm only getting one CD, it better have a lot on there, I'm only buying this one. And you had to think about how it was going to take up space and like I don't know. It's kind of it's sad that we've taken away the process of letting life be the algorithm, if you will. Or letting things unfold naturally, Same gosh, and it's so fast to just come up with like to come to cosmetic surgeries and stuff because once again, a lot of these like I guess celebrities, but it's going to influence everyday people as well, but a lot of them were getting plastic surgery 17, 18, 19 years old. They literally are never going to know what their face looks like or was supposed to look like or would have looked like. Like they're always going to have a sense of identity crisis, I'm sure, because they never fucking know. They never knew. It's like different when you're a full grown adult and decide to like edit yourself in a sense. But being groomed into doing it, that's like Bella Hadid. Um, has already come out and said that she regrets her nose job, and she's only 25 years old now, right? Like 25, 27, somewhere around there. So she got it when she was really fucking young because she was pressured into doing it. Like, that fucking sucks. And so it seems like all these choices are already made what you're gonna wear. Because shopping, same thing. You don't just walk into the store and see what they got. You see, you buy what's on Shein, you buy what's trending, you buy what's hot, you buy what's sold to you. And some people still go shopping, but a lot of people just order that shit online. Yeah, the generative cost of electricity, but production cost is consuming electricity anyway, so it's like one or the other instead of both. right? Like, I don't know. It's a lot to take in, it's a lot to think about, but I don't think that we are really truly fathoming the kind of changes that are happening right now in a long-term way, because I feel like for a long time we experimented with things that didn't work and didn't stick, and oftentimes would go back to what we already had. CDs are a great example of that, where like they did not get MP3s off the ground for a minute. Even when iPods and like off-brand, like Alienware or other MP3 players came out, people still were diehard about CDs, and not even diehard. They were casually listening to them. We still had, you know, um, CD drives on our computers, in our cars, etc. And we had seen these things fail right in front of us before. Things like portable radio or hit clips or downloaded songs on flip phones. Like there were digital means to get music at a time where people were still preferring CDs or would ultimately go back to CDs. And so I think that same with records. Vinyls have stood the test of time. I think that part of us is still so accustomed to that back and forth, making those decisions like collectively, that we think of everything as always going to be there, always going to be an option. And I don't think people realize that the further they go down a road, the farther we are going to be, like it's just it is that simple, and it does kind of come down to those things of like you have to really think about what it is that you're deciding on now, because this is quite possibly and quite probably the rest of our known existence. We're walking down roads we can't reverse. Once you stop production on something and shut it all down, it might come back in 20 years, but it's I don't know. It's 27 on the 27th. Yeah, so much for Sunday. That's usually how our Sundays went though. You fucking start tripping at like 9 p.m. So Sundays into Mondays. um anyway, yeah. So it's something that's been maybe not getting to me, but as I described and explained in the very beginning of this stream about my PMDD, is very dismal, sad thoughts, regardless of how I feel or what I'm doing. These thoughts kind of overcome me. I was walking today and I was just thinking about this, about how, like, huh, you really do miss that element of allowing life to run its course. There you go. We'll have to, like, hopefully notice it and pay attention, or just be on point with it. Um, and it's fun that I think that's maybe why I really do love to just like go pick something out at the gas station. I'm not a perfect anti-capitalist. I'm not a perfect anarchist. I'm not a perfect anti-corporate person. I'm a flawed being, just like the rest of you, doing my best to try to reduce my carbon footprint or, environmental impact when it comes to my consumerism. But there's no way to not consume things, especially living in a climate where you can't like grow vegetables all year long unless you have a fucking greenhouse and shit. And I'm sorry, I just don't have that right now. Much as I would love it, I don't have it. So, um, I'm hearing a song. There's just so many things. Nothing's right, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. Cold and I am shame. Lying naked on the floor. Illusion never changed into something real. Wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is torn. You're a little late and I'm already told. I don't know why that just popped in. Well, I do know why that popped in my head. Spirit gives me tunes sometimes. Yeah, she's such a cutie, right? That's a cover though. I'm obviously singing the Natalie Imbruglia version because I'm a 90s baby, I guess. But yeah, I didn't realize it was a cover for a long time. Nothing's right, I'm told. You know. I'm a lot of pain. This is how I feel. You know. Lying naked on the floor. Yeah. It's like some fucking 60s band. I don't even know. I don't know if I've even bothered listening to the original because she does such a great job. Yeah. Yeah. I think there's a few songs like that that we know the covers. Well, that's like Whitney Houston. And I will always love you. That's a cover. That's Dolly First. I was just thinking about that Nico song I love, which is actually a Bob Dylan song, and it's a cover. It's not even a Bob Dylan cover, just because he wrote it. He wrote it for someone else who did it like 10 years before Nico did it. So Nico covered someone else's version of a Bob Dylan song. So that's like one of my favorite songs. Is a cover 3 times over. Doesn't make it any less bad. Oh, I got my mind set on you. That one. Got my mind set on you. I mean, it's like an 80s song, right? Or you're saying older than that. I don't care what year it is. I don't consider the 80s super old. So I figured you meant something else. Um, it is driving me nuts. Welcome. I really don't get to see my stats on here. It's not stats. It's just like it's the timer of how long I've been streaming and like the view count. So like I like when someone walks in, I like to be able to greet them, but I have to keep clicking off of the Twitch Studio and looking at the web browser, which is stupid. I shouldn't really care who's here. It doesn't matter who's watching. It doesn't matter how many people, you know what I mean? So it's like a challenge, but also I kind of will get this get a vibe that someone new is here. And then I go to check and it's like, "Oh yeah, the view count's up." So that's really annoying. This has only happened once before, and I somehow did fix it, and I didn't think I had to like fix it out of it. Fix it. Let me try. Maybe that nope, I don't know. Ah, it's back. See, got it. I had to just edit and save something and now it's on there. Cool. So I'll stop touching and clicking. That's really cool. I didn't know that. Thank you. That's dope. And I mean, like, I love to learn something new every day. Who doesn't, right? Um, how's everybody feeling, by the way? It's really just me and Monty, huh? That's okay. Um, I don't know. I don't think I feel like doing any tarot. I do not think I feel like doing any tarot. I have some cards out, so maybe like I had said I was gonna start doing the thing where when I drop the cards, instead of seeing it in the future, I'm gonna collect them for the week and like do a reading with them. I could do those since I don't feel like doing anything else because there's like one from each deck I've used in the past couple days. Um, maybe I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I might roll a quick ad. Not quick, 3 minutes. I'm gonna do a few things intermittently right now while we're ramping up. Again, I might do tarot, I might not. I don't know. I can't tell how I'm feeling or why I feel like resilient to it in the first place. But as I'm talking, I feel like I'm getting my energy up, and maybe we will. So if there's some topic in particular, or a color, or a word. Hi, you have been here before, though I don't remember. Maybe I do recall calling someone butter. Um, thank you. They're not tattoos. It's just liquid eyeliner. I would hope that I would never do that. It says Sunday, 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 or that, which says Monster Truck Jam Band. So thank you though. Glad to know I could pull off a face tat because like everybody fucking tells me nice. Somebody tells me nice. There's something on. So it's good to know. No. And on that note, Hello. So, if you ever see this screen with the pink box, it means that we're just chatting. When the box is turquoise, it means that I actually have tarot cards out on the table. And then when I have my tarot cards out on the table, I'm really just doing general readings, checking in with the vibe, the collective, sometimes the signs. It's a little more rare to do like zodiac readings, but I feel like if people were more interested in it, then maybe I would. Um, yeah, so yeah, you know, just generally that. There's also the open possibility of booking your own reading that I would do for you on my own time. And there's not people who are just trying to come on here and vibe. Um, yeah, right now, I don't know. I'm just warming up. I'm so used to drinking pop while I'm on here, and I made myself a fucking coffee. Not even. It was never even warm. It's not even not warm anymore. It's just not warm. It didn't heat up my water long enough. It was bubbling, so I thought it was close enough to boiling, but it just was never that hot. And maybe I should take that as a life lesson. I was never that hot. Um, so yeah, that's what's up. Hey, I was wondering like why the fuck you were messaging me, not just talking to me, but also we keep the spoilers out of the chat, so it makes sense. I'm kind of like I'm kind of distracted right now. I'm kind of tired, but I'm kind of low key doing something. I've also noticed I'm having a really hard time getting stuff done lately. None of the practical stuff, which is good, like still cooking, cleaning, taking care of myself, hygiene on top of things, etc. So it's not like difficult to do anything, but I'm noticing some of the creative stuff or the work that I need to do, no matter how easy it is, I'm just stalling on, putting off, and not really giving a fuck about. I don't love that. So I don't know if it's the weather, if it's me, if it's a point in my cycle, because I feel like I do say or feel this way quite often, or often enough to think it could be once a month. um, but yeah, lately I do feel like it's not necessarily reprioritizing, but rather understanding or figuring out what my priorities would be. If that makes sense, I feel like I'm very in between right now. And it's in between, not in between in life, but it's in between. Yeah, it's like in between values almost, or like morals. Like, how much can I sacrifice in order to align with what I believe in, and how much of my beliefs need to be put aside to be functional? Like, it's almost like I'm taking a step back to be like, okay, if I'm not trying to put my eggs into every single fucking basket, which baskets do my eggs go in and how many eggs go in each basket? It's like that kind of thing where I'm not like reprioritizing necessarily. I'm prioritizing in the first place instead of just having my hand in everything or doing a little bit of this and that and taking dips. I'm like wanting to put more effort into fewer things, and I got to decide what of those things kind of like make the cut and are still important. And I also have to ask myself, if I find it to be important now, why haven't I been fucking doing it for the past X amount of time? Like music, I want to make more music. Am I motivated to do it? Absolutely not. Am I good at it? Even more absolutely not. Yeah, I love making lists. I have a to-do list. Made it yesterday. Did I do anything on it? No. I went out, I played pool, and I got a little drunk instead. Are, am I going to hold it against myself? Absolutely fuck not. I need to get out more. Not to get drunk, but maybe to whip ass at pool. Maybe I did one game and act like a hot shot. Like no, it was actually a really good game. I'm sometimes super good at pool, sometimes super not. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I have been a consistent list person for a long time, I feel like. But with the weather getting warmer too, I feel like I'm gonna want to be outside a whole lot more, and I'm already outside a lot. Like I am out the fuck side. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm for the streets, but I do very much enjoy walking them. Okay. Do I live on the wild side? No, but I certainly do take a stroll once in a while. All right. I love it out there. The warmer it gets, the nicer it gets, the more I'm gonna want to be out there. That means the less time I have to do stuff. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be busy soaking it up, right? Imagine if you ever did become a vampire. You want to have regrets about how much time you spent in the sun while you still could spend time in the sun? I don't. I don't. Listen, 444. I want to take advantage of it now. Maybe climate change is more real than we want it to be, and fucking globe heats up to the point where we're not allowed to go outside under the sun anymore. Okay? Because anything could happen. So all I'm saying is I want to enjoy it, be out there in the fullest, wear my sunscreen every day. Don't you forget, especially if you're clothed up and you say I don't need it. Yes, you do. All summer long, fools. And even some spring. And technically, even when it's like overcast, you're supposed to wear sunscreen, but that's okay if you're not that diligent. Um, but you'll thank yourself later, like the better you are about it. So, just saying. I've never played chess. I never learned how to play chess. Why do you ask? I'm curious as to why you would ask. Is it because you can play on here or something? I do think that vampires would be cool. And I would describe myself as Terry Sun, Godric Moon, and Stackhouse Rising, which I did say on here already, but I still think it's true. So, yeah, I'm thinking, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. We could teach me. I'm not opposed to it. I always liked checkers and Chinese checkers and like strategio, which is like chess with more details, right? Kind of. You get to pick your board. I think I like the freedom of being able to choose. I know chess has a lot of rules, but I watched the Queen's Gambit. I allow links in my chat. Maybe I shouldn't, but my ear rang when somebody came in here and then they like maybe laughed, but it may have been someone else who left. I don't know. So if someone important, no, everyone's important, but if somebody who really was looking for something came on and I don't know if they went off. My ear went off, that's for sure. Day and night. I actually heard that at the bar. Okay, I don't even know who that is, so you suck at this. Russell Eddington, don't tell me. Don't tell me. I'm not even gonna Google it. Russell sounds familiar though. That's not the guy, is it? Please stop it. This is why I said no spoilers, because you don't remember exactly where I'm at. Anyways. Do y'all feel like doing any tarot? Like, how's the mood? Personally, I feel like I could never get another reading in my life and be totally content while simultaneously also wishing someone would give me a reading so I can like get like a very clear, you know. Okay, so let me see, but like how early in season 3? That's why I was like his name does low key sound familiar. Unless you're talking about Big dude. Cast spoiler? No. I don't know. That's like a real person. Yeah, okay, he's great. Once again, just saying, everything they do was done by AHS later. Like, sorry. Yeah, Russell's pretty hardcore. That's not the guy I thought it was, but yeah, I have seen at least that much, so you're not really spoiling it. Um, you're lucky. You're lucky I know who that is. Um, yeah, so you're away. Um, yeah, I'm not really, I mean, this is what I was saying the other day, like with tarot, is like I did like take a nice long Lenten break or whatever, and that was cool. I'm glad I did. But now, like I'm back to it. I've been doing readings all week. It's not a big deal. They're still going well. Even if I feel like I'm being blocked from some part of things or like, having my intuition be off in general, I don't know how to explain that. I still do think that the readings are accurate and I do still feel like they're worth doing. I just feel my personal interest becomes less and less. Where I was like really into giving the good word of God for a while. But lately it feels like the messages are so repetitive and I personally have yet to see a lot of what's being said really even come to fruition in my own life that I'm like, there's some element of right. There's some element of like just not being able to really give as much of a shit anymore and just genuinely being somewhat over it, if you will. Um, I don't know what you mean by that, but I'll take your word for it to say the least. Oh, I gotcha. Maybe he just doesn't want to admit how old he is. um, I would never say it's bullshit either, the tarot. I just feel like it's bullshitting me. I feel like I brought this up probably a week ago, where I feel like the trade-off, yeah, the trade-off for being able to read people is not being able to be read or to read upon myself in a sense. Um, but yeah, if anybody feels like they really want to know something, you can definitely crack open one of these decks, but you gotta let me know what and when. So I probably won't take the initiative. I'm just still kind of dicking around right now. Um, yeah. Otherwise, I've been having like fairly depressing thoughts lately, anyway. So I probably should break out the tarot just so I don't say something really depressing and quite honestly, even disturbing. Possibly even disturbing. Um, because you know what? That PMDD brain can get so out of control sometimes. Good. Well, thank you. I'm glad you feel that way, even if, like, who knows if other people feel that way, but you are honestly enough for me to feel like I can be depressed on Maine. So thank you for that. Um, I also feel like I get hungry when I sit here. I'm like so full. I'm like ready to go. I'm like, do I need to eat? No, I'm good. And then I sit down. Girl, should I eat? I don't know why. So Everything feels like messy. Dude, it's not. Thing. Drinking coffee at like midnight. It's okay. Yum. Day in the life, huh? All right, you have my full attention. I'm pretending to do other stuff like I wasn't just like on my phone. I could have rolled an ad break and like not told you what I was doing. I just like always post on my story when I'm streaming, and then I tell people, "Oh, I always post on my story." So I, even if I'm really late and it's not the first, I don't do it before I start. I'll do it like while I'm already going. Are you talking about all this writing? This side says Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. You missed my explanation. This side says Monster Truck Jam Band. um, it's a hidden meaning. I don't know how to describe. What would you say? It's like a so me and my friends when we were teenagers used to do drugs on Sundays, and so we would imitate the voice from the Monster Jam convention commercials. It's like Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. But that's a so it's like psychedelic monster trucks. Hence the monster hands, the Hot Wheel, like and then like the funky patterns. I'm a psychedelic monster truck. I'm a monster truck on mushrooms. Why is this manic? Why do you think I'm manic? I don't feel manic at all. I feel way more depressed than manic. Or you mean the coffee? It ain't doing shit for me. I'm like so bleh. Um, no, it's only like manic when I'm making the coffee at 5 a.m. That's true mania. Well, that sounds normal actually. When I've stayed up all night and start making coffee at 5 a.m., that's when you know it's gonna be an unhinged day for me. Um, but I made it before I started this. I started this at midnight. That's normal. I just didn't want to drink another pop. I was too lazy to clean my French press earlier, so I drank my daily allotment of soda during the day. I usually am backwards, where I'll have coffee all day and soda during the stream so I can sleep afterwards. But we'll see how this treats me. I've been having that fatigue lately, where I don't know if it'll even keep me up. I have to wait for my partner. I'm not watching it without him. I would watch it if I was watching it by myself. I would, but I don't. I'm not gonna do that when I'm watching it with someone. Yeah. Oh, trust me, I'm killing time until it's time for True Blood. Like literally. Um, Especially because we didn't get an episode before they went to work. So I'm upset about that. Also, that sneeze got me sniffling. Yeah, you are the emotional pregame. I don't think you would even believe me if I told you how often I cry while watching True Blood. And that is not exclusive to True Blood. I have cried watching Abbott Elementary, and that show might get a little sentimental at times, but it's a fucking daytime sitcom. Like, I am so fucking tenderhearted. Stop letting people tell you otherwise. I am the most sentimental, gushiest, softest, sweetest thing in the entire fucking world, despite my somewhat aggressive exterior and somewhat violent behaviors and somewhat the tendency for confrontation. You've worked towards it? I've been this way since day one. I don't know. I feel like the first time I felt I feel like okay, besides being Catholic from the time I was like 3 on and like having me taught empathy for Jesus, right? I feel like I remember the first time I felt empathy was the first time I saw Roadkill, consciously speaking, or like really just tall enough to look out the window. So, ah, gotcha. I used to pretend I couldn't cry when I was a teen because I was very self-conscious about people seeing me cry, but I had PMDD. I cried all the time back then too. I would just have this like cold bitch exterior where I'd be like, I don't have tear ducts. I don't cry, but like I've cried in school. So um I think I told my yeah. So I fucking probably told this story, but my stage fright runs deep. In my freshman year of high school, I cried reading an essay of mine, even though I'm a fucking amazing writer. I don't know. I wasn't nervous. So I was like, holy shit, I don't want these kids to know I'm a nerd who loves to do this and loves this class and loved this book. I think it was A Raisin in the Sun. Like, I don't know. He had us reading a lot of like African American literature. And I say that specifically because it was like English class African American literature, not just like black authors and stuff. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, why? I think it was just an English class. But we watched A Raisin in the Sun and we read Trifles. And there's the only things that stand out in that class. I can't remember anything else. Yeah, I do cry all of those times. I think I cry the least amount when I am scared, because when I'm scared, I get completely ghostly. Just like it's not even dissociating because I'll be very present in the moment, but it's like fear is a relief to me. Where it's like if I think all my worst fears are coming true, then I feel a sense of relief in a way. That's the most probably top 10 most fucked up things I have ever said. Like, let's just about myself anyway. I don't I've said some fucked up shit. Let's not put something as kind in the top 10. Kind? Well, anyway. Um yeah. You know what's funny about Alki B is my old handle used to be this. And that looks like alchemy done by Yo Freaky B to me. Alki B. Do my new thing. Sounds like an alcoholic. It was it's Yo Freaky B. I'm your freaky bee, but you can't do see, cause you never met a motherfucker quite like me. You know, it's that era, 2015. It's supposed to be. It was honestly it was my Snapchat handle once upon a time, where I was in my Yoshimi brain era still. So I was just like trying to shorten. It was just supposed to be like yo brain or something like, brain. It was all taken on Snapchat. So I was like, okay, freak brain, whatever. Like just coming up with different like any handle that would work. And I just instead of yo brain, I did yo freaky brain. And it was too long, so it just ended up being yo freaky bee. But that is actually so dope. It was like the best outcome that I could get out of that. I think because it works so well. I wrote so many songs. Freaky Bee was like too easy to put into rap songs. You know what I mean? And it was like okay, but it's oddly specific because of what it stands for and like when the time of my life, right? So yeah, Illy Billy is like a toned down version of who I've always been, I suppose. Right? I think it's great. Casual magic, sup sorcerer. I love that. Um, yeah, so isn't that damn funny? Oh, that's so cute. That's so precious. And your 10-year-old self would be so proud of you for still loving what you love. Yes. Yes, I like that a lot. A lot. Um, Great as this outfit is, I might delayer a little bit. It's starting to fucking annoy me. These sleeves get caught on everything. They're like borderline very impractical, but they're very fun and cool. I love them, but dear God. Um, yeah, this seems like really stuffy. Some days I get more irritated by those things than others, that's for sure. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. I don't even really fully understand what Supreme is. Can you believe there's 6 people here and you're the only one talking to me? Who the fuck's lurking right now? No, there's 8. Who the fuck's lurking right now? What are we even talking about? We're not even talking about anything. Either join in or just, just join in. I don't want you to leave, but I'm just wondering, like, who are you people? Just kidding. No one's ever obligated to talk to me or talk back. So feel free to stick around and lurk if that's what you want to do. I don't even have any tarot cards out right now. But you'll know when this box becomes turquoise, it'll be tarot time. Yeah, okay, good. Some of them left. Is that supposed to be Fox Mulder and a Devo cap? What is going on there? I don't know. I like don't do marble. I don't know. I think I prefer DC and I don't really care either way, so. But I'll look him up so I can see what he looks like. Was it the hot chick or is there more than one? What do you mean fuck Fox Mulder? I'm sorry, we're gonna have to address that one. No spoilers, so please watch your ass. When speaking on X-Files, I don't care if it came out 30 years ago, actually. I'm very respectful to people who haven't seen it yet. Lucky for me, hardly any of it was spoiled when I did my first watch only last year. So I want to protect that sanctity for anyone else who may want to venture into the 11 seasons, 2 movies, and 3 spin off shows of The X Files. Okay. It wasn't really random. It really did. Yeah, like I'm pretty far away from it. It looked like Fox Mulder. And with a little like fake tin, like a Devo hat instead of a tinfoil hat, it kind of made sense to me. I don't know. So, hey everyone, does anybody want to talk to us? Or is it just gonna be you guys watching me and Source talk about random stuff? That's cool. That's cool. I mean, it's cool. I love having company. Don't you, Source? Yeah, that's really good. So anyway, there we go. I love that people just will like leave when I call them out. That's great. Like having like just the energy we want when we finally do get to the tarot, assuming we get to the tarot. Who doesn't want to talk to you? I do want to talk to you. What? No. Well, the thing is, I know you will replace yourself if someone starts talking to me. You tend to do that. Once someone else starts talking, you just disappear for a while and then you come back when no one does. Give them a break, people. No, I'm just playing. This was like the fucking most boring, like, you know, ever. I feel like usually if I'm just talking for this long, I say something at least interesting or profound. This time, not so much. There was a few things earlier. I feel like since I started talking to you, it's just been like I gave up. It's almost like I just gave up. Like, hey, just talking to the fucking homies, I guess. I don't know. I should get my shit together. I think that I'm gonna run the ads. I know I've been doing it every 30 minutes this stream so far, and I don't love that, but I think I am gonna get ready to do some tarot. So like I said, I'm about to take this. No, I've seen X-Files. I don't want it to be spoiled for anyone else. Unless you're talking about True Blood. A lot of people haven't seen True Blood either. So, no. Even if something's new, I just don't think, people are annoying. Yeah. Forget it. You're the only one who's seen it. Nobody else has even seen it. Like, relax. So, anyway, I'm going to roll one last set of ads. When I come back, I'm going to get into the tarot. So, I'm going to have like a wee snack. I gotta make sure that I have water. I think I do. Probably get myself a little bubbly. It's actually LaCroix. I always forget that bubbly is a brand, and I just think of anything carbonated as like bubbly, but it's not. So I'm gonna do that. Probably light more incense. and, you know, whatever. Get some pen and paper, water, go to the bathroom, do what you gotta do, stand up, turn around 3 times, sit back down, whatever. Right, like champagne. My partner's grandma offered me a bubbly one time, and I was like, "Oh, it's a little early for that, but I guess if you're gonna open some, I'll drink it." And she's like, "What? I'm just gonna give you a can," and like hands me a bubbly, and I was like, "Um, you were not talking about champagne. Okay, I'm really glad that I look like an alcoholic, right?" That was awkward and hilarious. So anyway, yeah, a can of bubbly, right? Yeah, no, I know. So I'm gonna roll the ads, and I'm gonna come back and we'll do some. I don't even. I don't know. It's not even guaranteed we'll do actual tarot. I just feel like getting into the space of like kind of being more serious, being more comfortable, and giving the messages that I need to give. Like I can't say what specifically we're gonna do or if I truly want to do it, but something in my environment's got to change. I left the lights on in here. A lot of times it's really dark when I stream, and the only light I have is my ring light. I left the damn lights on, and I think it's freaking me out. It's not freaking me out, but I think it's distracting me. I think it keeps making me feel like I forgot something. Like it's almost like that feeling of like when you leave the house and you can't remember if you turned your straightener off. Like that's how I feel having the lights on. So I'm gonna like do quick run around and maybe like I said change my layers and just like get generally more comfortable so I can kind of tune back into the stream because I feel like I was for a moment, but I've just been very distracted for the past like 40 minutes. So I'm going to recollect myself, regroup. You do the same, and then we'll have a straight hour of no nonsense, no commercials, no nothing. So I will be right back. And yeah, it's about to ground and center time. I have a fresh bowl packed. I've got some French press left. Like, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a whole vibe. Stick around, stick it out. Make sure you like it before you dip out, right? And bear with me. I just in advance, just know that I don't do personal readings. So when I say I'm coming back with tarot, it's definitely more like a collective message, as they're called. Or if you want, we could do zodiac polls. Or, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. And if you 111, if you don't or I'm sorry, if you are around, you might find that some of the messages seem really, really familiar. Thank you. What about it makes it a good stream? That's so funny because I was just saying how I felt like I was so distracted and uncomfortable this whole time. So I really appreciate you. Um, I am about to be right back though, and then we'll get into the magic portion of the hours. So thanks so much. Okay. I really love make things a bit difficult for myself. That is sarcasm. It wasn't obvious. So yeah, I had to delayer a little bit. I turned the lights off. I feel better. I feel like more in the zone. Folded a bit of my laundry, but then I was like, yo, I need to get back. Can't have the people waiting for me. Um Sheer little fucker was keeping me quite warm, and I forgot my damn LaCroix, but that's alright. I'm not gonna play more ads. Don't really need it. Do need this sweater though. I felt like this still was giving like psychedelic monster truck vibes, but maybe I'm stretching. Yeah, I used to be hella afraid of the dark, but that's because I'd literally hallucinate and like wasn't really aware that I was talking to dead people and stuff. So it used to like freak me out a lot more. But I also really like it, yeah, and I do also would say I perhaps prefer it. Um, I like having as many lights off as possible any time of day, basically. So yeah, I thought having the lights on would be like a cool, almost like a productive vibe, but like I don't need to be productive necessarily. Yeah, yeah. So, whew, see that. What's up, everybody? Ooh, who's that? Mm, funny, the dog even got up for someone. I'm just kidding. I heard that in my ear though. I don't know. It's okay if you feel like speaking up and talking. Um, yeah, so I said I was gonna do tarot, and as I have explained before and will continue to explain, LOL, that's literally the pit just got up and started walking like when I said, "Ooh, someone's here." So it's funny you would say that. Because it's not necessarily a shadow person, but a lurking person perhaps, or someone's energy is that strong and creepy. Um, Either way, I didn't really pick a deck or anything. I feel like there's something about messages. I never do scribing on this channel, and I constantly think about scribing while on this channel. I don't know why. It's something I do for myself, something very personal. Same with scrying, where I was like, oh, I guess I could start scrying and trying to see stuff, but something about it is very personal, and it's not something that I just really want to do. But there are some times where I feel like there's something I want to write down for you, but then it's like, is this an energy of like needing to write stuff down? Like, it's not that the message is going to come through in writing, but that you have writing to do. Okay, so for me, that would be relevant in the sense that I am working on a research novel. I am working on a poetry collection. I am working on all couple screenplays. Like I'm all over the place with writing, but I have really bad writer's block. And so for me to think, oh, write it down, write it down, write it down, that comes through as you better just start writing no matter what you are doing, right? And I had a friend tonight. Part of the reason I started late was one, my own terrible timing and lackadaisical nature, right? I'm like doing dishes at 10 p.m. Why? I don't know, because it needed to be done and this is the time I wanted to do it, I guess. So another reason that I started a bit later is because a friend of mine had called and needed an editing job done. If you ever need any editing done, I got you. Typically, depending on how much editing, can range anywhere from, 5 to 10 bucks a page. Okay. Um, just depending. Um, but either way, I was doing some editing and of course they said, if you have time, if you want to, I could use your help. And I'm like, oh, how did you know that I am a writer with writer's block trying to unblock the block unsuccessfully and needed to do an editing exercise? So if there's little things like that to help you or remind you, please show greatness. Greatness isn't gratefulness, but graciousness, that's the word. Show some graciousness for those things and lean into those little lessons more so that the big ones don't feel so out of control or, you know, kind of like a surprise and whatnot. Um, um, but yeah, so there's something about writing it down. It could be that I have messages just to scribe, but I never do it when I'm on here. So I'm thinking that there's something you got to put into words, write down. It could be that you're working on like writing a paper and it's due at the end of the semester. This is your reminder to do it now. Like start now. This could be like, oh, you're writing a song and you think of a line and then you forget the line. Yeah, you need to start writing it down. Write it down. If you gotta text it to somebody, if you gotta make a note, if you don't physically have like kind of something to actually write it down, then you need to like put it down in some way. If there's something you need to tell someone and you're having a hard time saying it out loud or speaking it, then you need to write that down. Whether you let them read it or not is up to you, but writing it down was like the first step. Seeing it out loud rather than saying it out loud. So there's many different ways that you can interpret the message. Like I said, that for me speaks to my writer's block. Write it down. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Write what down? Why I feel uninspired to write? Sure. Fucking great. That actually is a good idea. Let's do that. Like, let's do something, okay, to get it out, to get through it, to get over it, whatever it takes. So, something about write it down. We were talking about lists too, how we've been feeling low motivation and slow production and real, like, meh, stretched out, stretched thin. Write it down, make a list, write down what you've got to do or, how it's affecting you, whatever it is. Okay. Um, that's a big message. It's mostly because of me drinking coffee that I keep thinking about this song. There's no cream in it. But I can't unhear. Mm, I had a dream there were clouds in my coffee, and you're so vain. You probably think this read is about you. You're so vain, so vain. I'll bet you think this reading's about you, don't you? Don't you? I'm just kidding. I'm not doing a reading. It could be about you if you want it to be. That was like such a time for people to come in and not know me. Welcome though. I haven't actually pulled out any tarot cards yet, so if there's any like last minute requests or subjects of which cards to use, I got no pull and I'm just going over some basic messages that have come through. You're so vain. You probably think the song is about you. You're so vain. Yeah, I wish I knew more words to a lot of the songs that I sing. That one included, I suppose. I can start with these random cards that are already on the table. That might be fun, or a good warm up session, if you will. Just because I haven't used any cards yet tonight. No, I was on here like 2 days ago doing that. Um, really got nothing. Got something actually. What do you mean got nothing? I got whatever y'all want me to get. What do you want? What do you need? What do you feel like doing? What's goody? Are you having any fun? I don't even know what that song is. I think it's like, I mean, at this point, I just know it from reels and whatnot. Are you having any fun? Yo, I was wondering. I just went on there, went on Instagram to see if anybody saw my story, and I was like, "Well, anybody looked at this shit and didn't join? That's weird." And then you showed up. That's what I was literally looking down, looking at. Honestly, it's not even like in a vain way, but I'm so vain. I think this reading's about me. I lost that crowd real quick, by the way. I don't have any cards out yet. I don't know what I want to do. Mhm. Good. You sleep some weird fucking hours. With special guest? Who's the special guest? What's good? What is WSG? The flavor opposite of. Oh, okay. Yeah. So the second one was. I think it was just the timing of it that surprised me, huh? Are you having any fun? Na, 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 na. So, who's an alien? Me? I'm an alien for sure. WSG is not common slang. How old are you again? Because I think you were older than me. And I don't think you could call that slang. WSG? I don't think anybody says that. I'm so sorry, sweetie. What's up? Or, I mean, what's good is one thing, but WSG, who said, who? Nobody. I don't believe you. You'd have to show me living proof. Okay, so just so y'all know, it is turquoise box time, which means it is tarot time, and not just chat mode. Right now, we kind of low key are just chatting. I was doing some random channel messages, but there wasn't that much going on. Oh no. Oh no! I have a fully packed bong, and my whole little weed canister is like filled with fucking shake, which is how I ground it myself. It's not really shake if you grind it right. That's tragic. I'm so sorry to hear that. You always gotta get the weed before you run out. WSG? Nobody says WSG in person. What are you talking about? You sound like Gretchen Wieners right now. You want WSG to work so bad. It's never gonna happen. Stop trying to make WSG happen. Okay. I'm just teasing. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, that's fucking really sad. I'm so sorry that's your night. Mhm. I know they say what's good. That's fine. I was making fun of you for abbreviating it. That's all. Yeah, people say what's good in every era of every century, probably. Well, that's good. Okay, I got you. I'm like MSG's baby brother, W. Like, okay, it's enough roasting. It's supposed to be tarot time. Any deck preferences? Anything calling to anyone else? Because ain't nothing calling to me. I have a few cards on the table that I would love to read. This is a collection of cards that fell to the ground during our other readings this week. So there's one of each. We have one of our Angel Mandala cards from the Cosmic Deck of Initiation. We have one of our demons from our Demon Oracle deck. Okay, we've been trying to do that. So honestly, if you're the only one who said anything all night, we've got to fucking try it. I have one card from the Dream Oracle, the Queen of Wands is here, and then one Halloween Oracle face down. It's funny that this is the last one that's out too. So I'll read these four, and then I will probably break out that Halloween Oracle deck. So again, this is like during the other readings this week, which I used so many goddamn decks in the past couple days because I was using the Thoth deck too. I just happened not to drop any of them. So I was using at least 5, 6 decks. Holy fuck. So the first one is Aries, and it is Aries season. So if you're not already feeling the Aries energy, if you don't feel like anything is different from Aries season since Pisces season, like I would honestly say give it a minute. Shut up. I would say give it another minute. It's only been a few days. It's been like not even a full week. Tomorrow, the 28th, tomorrow, you might really feel the energy kick up if you're not already feeling very fierce, very confident, very independent, very um kind of ready to combust, then you will. Don't worry, you will. You will. That Aries energy is infallible. I don't know what that word means, but it sounded right in the sentence. So embrace it. We are at the beginning of the year, and I think many of us are at the beginning of, it can be anything. It could be like beginning of a pregnancy. It could be beginning of a new job, beginning of a new cycle, beginning of a new anything. Yeah, I feel that. And it is the beginning of spring, and once again, with the snow and the weather, it may not really feel like spring. It may still feel like winter. It may still feel like Pisces season. It may still feel like 2022. But just know, in the next few days, that will change. That will change. Okay, so we've got Nebus. My boss. Let's see what Nebus is about. Focus for dreams, both inspiring visions and relaxing daydreams, and knowing the difference between the two. Okay, I fucking love this advice. This is one of my favorite cards. I forgot. I like remember this divination, but I forgot who it was. I did not remember what Nibus was about, but this is a great card. Focus for dreams, both inspiring visions and relaxing daydreams, and knowing the difference between the two. So, when you consider that the Demon Oracle, oh, that's a good sign though, right? Like that means it's springtime or what? Isn't that right? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Good. It's like a latent hibernation effect where we don't get to hibernate all winter, but we get to take a few days to acclimate to spring. Well, if you've seen X Files, that would fucking freak me out too, to be honest with you. So, oh, um, but yeah, so I think there's knowing that the Demon Oracle is reserved for like financial or economic situations and or karmic connections. That advice about focusing on dreams would very much remind us to one, not let any of the haters or doubters speak against your dreams, because even if they feel like friends or family, they're probably just some kind of karmic connection we have that we're supposed to either clean up or clear out, right? And so listening to people doubt you, same. I was pissed when I woke up. I was fucking crying in my dreams. I couldn't fucking breathe. I was fucking dodging people. I was fucking pissed. It has been so long since I remember a fucking dream like that. Like there's many nights I dream and by the time I wake up, I'll kind of like activate my mind too quick to remember because otherwise it's very exhausting. I had to just let them go. I dream every night basically. And like it's rare for me to not remember them. And if I don't just wake up and shake them off, sometimes I won't wake up and I'll keep dreaming and keep dreaming. And even if I do think I have a job in some other astral plane that I should be tending to, right? It can be very hard for me because it's like so exhausting that I guess sometimes I just call off work. But last night, like I fell asleep with no lights on, no music on, no TV, nothing. I don't usually fall asleep to anything, but a lot of times I'll have like an LED like colored light on or listen to like lo-fi or meditation music or something. Or, we'll be so tired that we very rarely fall asleep watching something. It's never our intention to fall asleep watching something, but if I can't sleep, I'll watch until I sleep. But a lot of times I shut everything down before I fall asleep. So last night was one of those nights where it was like really dark, really quiet, and I dreamt fucking hard. So hard. And like I said, it wasn't a nightmare, but it was not pleasant. And I did not fucking enjoy it. It was like everything that stresses me out in the world was in this dream. And I couldn't even fucking sit on the boat that I wanted to sit on because it was floating away from me. It was anchored. I was like, fuck this. And it was just a terrible dream. It was just like everything going wrong in the dream. And it's like, if this is a dream, why the fuck is it like this? It's supposed to be a dream, not a nightmare. Like, shouldn't things be going my way? But that's fine. That's fine. Um, but aside from the dreams when we are sleeping, okay, because this is talking about inner visions and daydreams. So regardless of who your karmic connections might be hiding as, I've never seen them. Um, That's interesting. Mine wasn't necessarily like that, but I was definitely trying to get out of somewhere and was trying to get to something. And it was like, yeah, it's not far off from what I was dreaming about, I don't think. Um, so remember, don't get too caught up in the 9 to 5. Don't get too caught up in the day to day to kind of forsake your inner self, inner child, and not at least, you know, kind of like walk after your dreams if you don't full on chase them. You know, like remembering what you wanted to do. Say when you were a kid, you thought you might become a baker and you never actually got a baking job. Maybe you went to school for an English degree and you never taught English or whatever you do with an English degree. You know what I mean? Like, if you once had a dream, it's probably worthy to keep dreaming of it. But just know, like, at this point in your life, what is realistic, what you're on par for, versus what's unrealistic or might have to wait over time, right? Um, for example, if I see very consistent growth in my Twitch channel, right? So if I say I want Twitch to make me more money, it already has maybe more than it did a year ago when I started, right? Like I'm already making money. The fact that I made affiliate means I make money. Period. The fact that I'm getting a payout every month is insane because a lot of people will do this for years and never reach their payouts. Okay. So this desire for my Twitch stream to make me more money is very much within reach. All I have to do is be consistent, share it more, get more involved in the Twitch community, meet more people, remind people to subscribe, offer more incentives for people to subscribe, right? It's very much in reach. But if you have already tried Twitch, you never made affiliate, you never made a dime, you never got your payout, well, you never made affiliate, that's not even an option. And you're saying, I want my Twitch to make me more money. Well, your Twitch isn't making you any money. So you have to like really think about what it is that you want and does it make sense. It's not whether or not it's possible, it's like does it make sense. So if your goal is to have more followers, right, that's very easy, very possible. Okay, and so in the process of becoming affiliate, you need 50 followers. Say you're at 40. You know what, I want more followers because I want to go affiliate. Great. But to say I want 100,000 followers when you only have 40, it's a huge jump. But wanting more is plausible. It's very plausible that you'll just increase your numbers over time. But if you want to just jump, you might miss that landing. You know, you might not stick the landing, might miss the mark. So this isn't obviously this is not exclusive to Twitch. It was just a real world example that I could use in my own life. And I'm not saying that your Twitch channel isn't as good as mine by any means. You know what I mean? It was once again just like a very real example of how one really, I don't want to say basic, but someone's kind of next step might be someone else's big plan, or like someone's reality might be someone else's dream. And so it's good to focus on what's in front of you, what these next steps are, what is worth your investments, and what's, kind of needing to be put aside. Another great analogy that I did use earlier was like, if you don't want all your eggs in one basket and you put all your eggs in different baskets and you're not really getting anything from any of those eggs being in all those baskets, maybe it's time to take all your eggs back and decide how many eggs are going to go in which baskets. Okay, so you've got a dozen eggs and you got a dozen baskets. And these eggs represent like the time and energy that you have to put into something, and each basket is something that you love to do. Now, your job and yourself and your family. And there's some baskets you can't get rid of, okay? Wherever your responsibility lies. Let's say you have 3 baskets that you absolutely cannot get rid of because you've already made commitment. Your home, your family, and your job. Those are like, you've got to put at least 2 eggs in each of those baskets. So now you only have room for 3 more baskets, and now you only have 10 eggs left. Okay. So out of these 9 other baskets, how are you going to pick 3? Right? Because it's all the things you love. Whether it's smoking weed, going shopping, painting, writing, driving. I don't know what kind of drinking. I don't know what kind of hobbies, people have, adults have. But you can only pick 3 baskets. Okay. So I pick tarot, music, writing. Those are my 3 baskets outside of whatever else I have, right? Now I have to decide, okay, where am I going to put the eggs? I only have 2 eggs in each of these baskets, so I got 6 eggs left. So it would make sense to put 2 eggs in each of these baskets, right? 6 baskets, each with 2 eggs. But maybe some of these eggs don't need as much and some might need more, right? Probably maybe don't need to take up 2 eggs in the tarot basket because at this point, I've got tarot down to my own science, right? I stream, I have personal bookings available, and I, tell people that's what I do. So honestly, I probably only need to put 1 egg in my tarot basket right now. That's kind of on lock. That's kind of it's not robotic, autopilot. Okay, music, not that important. Really, a hobby I want to get better at, something I would enjoy doing and look forward to doing. But is it necessary? And am I that good at it? No. So you would think put an extra egg, right? Well, I don't know. I might not be able to really keep those eggs in this basket. I might need them elsewhere. So music and tarot each have an egg. But since I took those eggs, I'm gonna add another egg to my writing basket because I'm behind. I got projects unfinished, more unfinished writing projects than anything else I'm working on. Hands down, period. There is nothing worse than these fucking books I need to write. Especially when I fail to realize that I definitely have made agreements and deals with myself, with my higher self, with the greater universe. Like I've said, like, oh, once I write the book, then this will happen. This is how I, karmically make things up for what I've done and blah blah blah. And then I sit here and wonder why I feel guilty, why I feel like such a bad person, why I feel like nothing's working out. And it's like, damn, I did not hold up my end of the resolve. I very rarely ever do I? Fuck. It's just like with the album, I didn't finish one of the songs, and that was supposed to be the thing where I can move on and feel forgiven and forgive if I finish this project and at least put in the effort to do it, and then I didn't finish it. So of course I don't feel that kind of resolution. It feels still undone, still unfinished. So in that way, all right, so I'm working on one song, like one song, 1 egg. 4 or 5 fucking scripts, writing projects, whatever, I'm gonna need at least 3 eggs in that motherfucking basket, right? So now we're up to like how many eggs? We got 1 egg, 1 extra egg. Do I need to put that egg into my job? Do I need to put that egg into my home life? Do I need to put that egg into my family, right? Well, lately I've been feeling like I don't have any fucking friends and I have no one to rely on, and no one to lean on, and no one to talk to, no one to hang out with, no one to do anything with. As much as I don't want that to be true, it is. LOL. Be on the cheap colored lights. Um, but maybe I do need to put an egg, an extra egg in that basket. So I've got 2 in my job, I got 2 in my home, I got 3 in my family, I got 1 in music, I got 3 in writing, and I got 1 in tarot. And so now, all right, less baskets, more concentration, right? More prioritization. And that's like a key part of going into the new year, knowing what you're focusing on, knowing what you're doing, knowing what you want is what you've got. Okay. What do you mean what's my job? I have many jobs. I don't say that I'm like freelance mostly, but work is work, I guess. Actually, I guess I could say this out loud. I was like gonna message you the answer to that question because I was like, I don't really know if I want to put everything on blast on Twitch, but I do work at like the local crystal shop. I do some retail, but mostly social media and marketing and whatnot. Um, I would hope, but I doubt it. I don't know. It's like I would say I hope that each of my streams can make a difference in someone's world when they watch it. I hope that the things that I share could be considered wise enough to like become tools for someone else to be able to make, better decisions, quicker decisions, or any kind of decisions at all. I'm a very indecisive person, ironically enough. So sometimes talking things out helps me. So I hope that I'm helping people talk things out. Will it change the world? I don't know. That's always been my goal, not necessarily with my stream, but just since I was a child, I wanted to be the thing that brought world peace somehow. It makes no sense, but I had a young Catholic mind, I guess. So, thank you. I hope so. It's like subjective, right? I like my stream for sure. I enjoy streaming. I'm glad I do it. I definitely feel like I've connected to people who have accepted me for the first time in my life in a way. Um, I don't even know what you're laughing at anymore. But um I know that it's not for everybody. I know that I'm not for everybody. I know that sometimes it gets a little too hot around here, a little too controversial. Oh, yeah. No, I know. I know. I used to like they would be like, "Oh, just pray to God if you want something." Damn, really? I know. Fucking douche. I am probably Gryffindor. I always like want to think of myself as Ravenclaw, but that damn hero's arc inside me, I've got a big my name is Earl type personality for sure, where I just want to make things good or right or just. Right my wrongs is a big thing for me. I've always been like that. Ugh, it's so hard. It's literally so hard sometimes just to be like, damn, I can't even make it up to that person. I gotta just move forward or pay it forward even. So yeah, there's like a ton of stuff. It's not really about intelligence with Ravenclaw. It just seems like Ravenclaws more keep to themselves, mind their own business, and I always associate them with like writing and poetry for some reason, even though I'm not that immersed into the Harry Potter world, and at this point never will be, because J.K. Rowling's turf. So, oh, what's up, Corgi? Okay, homegirl's got the drill. Homegirl's got to go to the bathroom. She came all the way down to see me. I gotta let this girl out, and we all know that might take a minute. So I'm gonna roll the. You need to go outside. All right, yeah, she need to go outside. Um, I could see that. Yeah, I really do. I have always kind of prided myself on being a very honest man, and I would agree that it's hard to hide things when you stream, especially because one of the things that have come up a lot recently in some of the readings that I've watched and the readings I've done is like this stalker energy, right? And so it's funny because even if I have an inclination of who it could be, or even if I block people on other platforms, right? There's no real way. Okay, we'll go. There's no real way to know who watches the stream. And so you really can't hide anything. Like anything you share is accessible or available to anyone to watch it. And they can watch it anonymously, they can watch it quietly, they can watch it live, they can watch it afterwards. Like, yeah, no, I mean, it's cathartic to be able to speak my mind when I feel I have no one else to talk to, and then, like, to have people relate to it is even better. But yeah, if you have, like even if you have, like, a fake personality or a scripted stream, it's definitely hiding, right? Part of the joy of the live stream is how organic it is, I think, so anyway, I gotta let this little corgi out before she goes doo-doo on the floor, so I'll be right back, y'all. If it takes more than 3 minutes, it's because I lost her out there. She's old, and sometimes she sits down and forgets she's outside, so I will be back. All right, what the hell did I miss? What do you stream on? This isn't okay. You made an account yesterday, so like you're either just being quite facetious or you stream under a different name. I'm very confused. I was having a little snack and I'm gonna light some incense before I come all the way back. Corgi was pretty quick. Thankfully it's raining, so she was in and out, or I should say out and in. Um, which I got lucky. Didn't have to go out in the cold and rain. Right, yeah. If you think the American people are so bad, why the fuck would you want to be in control of them? And who the fuck are you? You know? Talk about honesty and then you want to remain anonymous. That's interesting. No, come on, I get anonymity. Anonymity. I understand to an extent. Um, not everyone can be loud and proud as I am. And in a way, I'm very fortunate to be able to like pull off conspiracy, and having always kind of had like the alternative lifestyles or looks definitely just plays into it. I think to be able to, even in a professional setting, people don't take me seriously. So to see me out of a professional setting just makes more sense to people, um, in my experience. So back to these cards that I had out though. We were talking about dreams because of that demon oracle, but next one we have Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands in this deck, this is like dream interpretation, Akashic records, and shadow guidance. So this Queen of Wands is like, not only is she being presented this wand here, but she's on the move and she is embracing her true nature of being queen. Okay, so this is about walking into your power, accepting your position, which is really well timed, I think, for kind of the discussion that's happening right now, and knowing not your worth or value, but like knowing it's for you, knowing your purpose. Knowing your purpose is a big one. So then we have one card face down. It's a Halloween Oracle. So Halloween Oracle deals with the deceased and the shadow self. So while this is advice on how to guide the shadow, this is more about calling out what the shadow does, so to speak. So let's reveal what is blocking us or stopping us, or what is going to be the challenge that we face when we do decide to step into our truth in such this way. Mummy change. It's going to be a whole lot of change. Once you finally do come into your own or are walking in your power, your purpose, and your truth, things start to change, and that is, in many ways, very difficult. Changes will throw you. You'd be surprised how much changes and how maybe quickly it does, where it almost seems like a lot of this is unfolding right now. So when you read them individually, they each have their own very powerful meaning, and that's great. But if I were to read them all together, we have Aries, Nibus, Queen of Wands, and the Mummy, which is change, right? I would say that Aries season is bringing about a time where we get to prioritize our dreams and actually make progress in those dreams to the point where our lives are changed forever because of it. Like, that's amazing, dude. That's amazing. I love that. So, that being said, I'm about to pull out the Halloween Oracle and we're going to use this deck a bit. If I can. I've been feeling a major blockage with, like I've described, I've been feeling the block with tarot in general, or just having wanted to take a break. Um, but really just feel like I haven't talked to the deceased in a minute, even though I did not long ago talk to Pete. So it hasn't been that long, and it hasn't been, I might be a little dramatic about it, but for who isn't? So sticking these one-off cards back in their respective backpacks. Put them in there. I have the Moon, the Knight of Wands, and the Six of Wands at the top of the deck. Go for it. Definitely a sign of go for it. Okay. All right. Poily boy, where'd you go? You're the one who requested the Halloween Oracle, but you're the only one who requested anything, so I'm gonna do it whether you're here or not. I know you were having some sound and connectivity issues lately, so it could have been that. There's still like 6 people on here, so maybe you're one of them and you've just been quiet. I don't really know. Mummy again. Face up this time. I'm gonna face down card. I was about to say maybe that's it, but then they got these, so that's kind of funny. Damn, I've been on here for like 2 hours. Do I even rip the bong? Sometimes I like to be super stoned for these things so that I can like really feel it, or like maybe the opposite of feel it, but be numb to it. So it just comes through as genuinely, honestly, and quickly as possible. Halloween Oracle. Once again, if you're not already familiar with my readings, my processes, etc., Halloween Oracle is my deck that I have reserved for communicating with the dead, like the deceased, not the band, although some of the deceased members do come through once in a while, yeah. We just talked to Pigpen not long ago, just a couple months ago. But it is also readings for the shadow self and how to make it through those darkest nights of our souls. So this feels perhaps like it might be just a general sort of shadow reading, but as we get more and more in tune or in touch, perhaps it will be a channel message from someone. I can talk to anyone. I will not just call upon your relatives on Maine like this, but if you want to book a private reading for someone that you've loved and lost, by all means, you're more than welcome. Most people will talk to me. It's been very rare that someone has refused or that the living has refused the person. And if it's not the one you want to talk to, someone will come through and talk to you anyway. So yeah, and sometimes I like to establish contact by using a personal guest from someone who is on the stream, just to kind of establish not necessarily the boundaries or my skill level, but just to show that like it's not just random celebrities that I'm making shit up for. Like a genuine connection. I genuinely believe that I can hear them and see them and feel them. So you don't have to believe me. The point is not to convince you, but to carry these messages for people who, for whatever reason, can't carry them themselves. So we have at the bottom of the deck Dawn, the light after the darkness. This is a big time spring energy, don't you think? It stays later. Sorry, it stays lighter later. Finally, like the dawn is here. It gets brighter earlier, and winter's finally over. So I think that's a great card. And then I just cut the deck. Ooh, ancestors, the love and legacy of our DNA, and joy, rejoicing in the present moment. So this sounds kind of, I don't want to say cliche, but if it's been a while since you really gave it some thought about how far we've come as a society, as a people, as an evolutionary species, as a lineage, a family, where I think it's time to rejoice in the present moment in honor of your lineage, in honor of your ancestors, because they did not have these things. They did not have so many options. They did not have such a luxurious life. And there's no part of them that wants to see you suffer. But there is a part of them that would like to be acknowledged for having paved the way and built this road for you to be able to get to this point. All right. Birth may be expensive now, but you can imagine it was so much more painful then. And so the pain and burden of having carried on and carried on and reproduced and reincarnated so many times, your ancestors would like you to take a moment in which you show them gratitude and you sing your appreciation. You say, God damn, we've come a long fucking way, haven't we? The witch, the earthly weaver of the worlds, it's me, and jack-o'-lantern protection. There is no wrong move right now. There's no wrong move. There just isn't. There is no wrong move. You can do it or you cannot do it. You can think about it or you can be impulsive. There is no wrong move. You can go for it or you can stay home. It doesn't matter. There's no wrong moves right now. Just know that whatever you choose and whatever you get, there will be tons and tons more. It's a Trinity spot. Everything is unfolding tenfold. Winter, the sacredness of pausing. Guess what? If winter is the sacredness of pausing, spring is when you press start, when you hit play, when you keep going, okay? Owl, wise seeing, wise action. I keep cutting the deck for some reason. Skeleton, strength. All the cards I've showed you is just me cutting the deck over and over again. It's almost like we're looking for something. Forgiveness, reducing burden. Maybe we're looking to be forgiven. Maybe we're looking to apologize. Maybe we want to forgive someone that we have yet to let go of our animosity towards. Could be any of those little things, right? The veil, the future. What you do now may not matter. There's no wrong answers, but what you do now will affect, dictate, and build your future. Dropped everything but winter. That pausing effect is over. And I'm done cutting the deck, obviously. Scrying, intuition. Trust your intuition. It's kind of like ever since Aquarius season. I thought that the heightened intuitiveness of the general public was going to be exclusive to Aquarius season, but it seems that ever since then, people are able to trust their intuition more and get kind of a more accurate feel for things. And I would say that's a great improvement for those who needed it or were working on it or wanted it. All right. So, wise seeing, wise action. Know who you're with, know how they practice. Death. The eternal cycle begins here. There might be some stuff you need to let go of, some people you need to let go of, some things you need to let go of. Spring cleaning, spring cleansing. Don't limit yourself. Werewolf, exploring wildness in the reverse and the dawn. Light after the darkness in the reverse. I don't even know how that got in reverse because it was just at the top of the deck not long ago. And scrying underneath that. So if you feel like your dog days are not ending, then you need to chill. You need to pull back a little bit. And if you know, you know. If it's you, you know it's you. Like, you know it's you. So if you feel like your bad days are getting worse, if you feel like your bad days are not ending, if you feel like Aries season sucks so far, that's on you. Look, this is upside down too. The veil of the future. I don't know what I did here. Random cards upside down. But yeah, you ain't gonna have a future if you don't slow down. Could be a drug thing, could be alcohol, whatever. Could just be recklessness in general, driving without a seatbelt. You could be sober as hell and still get killed doing that shit. Like, you ain't gonna live long if you don't fucking pull back on the wild times, the wildness, the smoking, the vaping, whatever it is. Like, if you don't get it together and you know who you are, you know who you are. You know what it is that you're doing too much of. You know what's excessive, right? Like, for real, the wildness is the reason things aren't working out. So you need to pull back a little bit. Skeleton, strength. Of course, it's going to take a lot of strength. It's going to take everything you've got. You might want to take some time off if you got to kick something for real. Or just stop being so wild. Maybe it's sex. Maybe it's like you're not getting fucked up. You're just having a lot of sex. Maybe you don't use fucking condoms, idiot. You're going to have casual sex with multiple partners and not use a condom? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You think everyone's honest every time they say, yeah, I've gotten an STD test. Yeah, I'm on birth control. You know how easy it is to fuck up your birth control by one, leaving your implant in too long, or two, forgetting to take a pill that day, or three, any other variability where it's only 99.9% accurate and y'all still gonna have casual sex and not use condoms. Gross. Like, it's gross. It's gross. It's gross. I'm just gonna say it, it's gross. Okay? Don't be gross. Don't be stupid. If you're in a relationship and you're having unprotected sex with someone, even if you're in a polycule and you have multiple partners that you consistently see, that's one thing. But if you're out here having one night stands and trying to pick up as much ass as possible and you're raw dogging every single one of them, you are disgusting. You are disgusting. Period. Like, I'm sorry. It's not slut shaming. Have as much sex as you want to. Once again, when you're risking STDs, you're risking pregnancy, you're risking fucking up your life, someone else's life, and a third human life. That's irresponsible and giving sex a bad name. You're giving sluts a bad name. Like, no. Blind spots. Skull of darkness. You think you can trust them? You think you can trust them? You fucking can't. Think about how many people you're sleeping with and you don't tell them who you're sleeping with and they want to tell you you're the only one that they're sleeping with, but you know that you're sleeping with 5 other people. Like, da-doy, you're dumb. You're dumb. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad that message wasn't for you, man. I'm glad that you use protection and you're smart no matter how young you are because you're not in a committed relationship. But actually, you don't really be sexually active unless you're in a committed relationship because you are what you would call a demisexual. I don't remember what you call it. So, but anyways, that shit's disgusting, y'all. Be fucking responsible, okay? Skull of darkness, blind spot. Someone lied to you. They lied about getting tested because they wanted to get in your pants, or they lied about being on birth control because they're trying to trap your ass. Just be fucking smart. They should, you know what? And I get not knowing and spreading something like that happens, but man, that's why you need to be consistently getting. It was 2 1 2 1 2 1 or whatever. I don't know. 2 12 12. You've got to be consistently getting tested if you're going to have multiple partners. That's the thing. Yeah, no, that's scary. Okay, remember back in like the early days of YouTube when people were first allowed to upload stuff? And there was a woman who uploaded a list of like 400 plus people that she gave AIDS to. You remember that? I don't know if it was real, but she literally like read first and last names like, I've contacted HIV, so I'm telling all these people that they probably have it or need to get tested. Yeah, 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 yeah. That was fucking crazy. That was fucking crazy. To not know where along the way you got that shit, like, that's messed up. Especially because it gives you the worst fucking cold symptoms. Yeah, no, for real, you do. You had to be there for the early days of the internet when YouTube was finally made for the hands of the people. But yeah, yeah, that shit was wild, wild, you know? And then they want to fucking blame whatever. Let's not get into it, but yeah, I don't know. That it's funny because this is a shadow self reading, I'm not surprised that message came up, but I am surprised at the sheer emphasis on it. So someone watching is really reckless. And yes, you are disgusting. Like it's just like it's not how many people you sleep with, it's the practices you have in sex that makes you a safe slut or someone who's just fucking disgusting. Like literally, that's the only difference. It's not how many people you sleep with, it's how you sleep with them. And I'm not saying like taking it in the ass makes you sluttier than taking it elsewhere, right? Like again, it's about protection. It's about not forming permanent bonds with temporary people. It's about not creating children during one night stands. It's about not spreading STDs because you didn't feel like getting your blood drawn. Look, somebody left. Somebody got real upset. They're like, damn, that's gross. That's gross. That's okay. That's okay. Again, we ain't slut shaming. Sleep with as many people as you want, as long as you're just staying on top of your shit and being totally honest and transparent with people. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Um, anyway, so we have midnight. Hey man, it's just the reading. It's just this is okay, so that's the thing. Shadow self readings. It's going to be the dark side. It's going to be the stuff you don't address. It's going to be your worst habits and behaviors and things to help with it. So if you're feeling like bad karma, look to every answer in the possible book, you know? If you're doing someone wrong like that, lying about how many partners you have and shit, like, that's where your bad karma's coming from. Idiots. Anyway, I think they left. I think they got the point. They went and got and scheduled their appointment. We have midnight, the most magical hour of them all. There might be something that happens. It's almost like a countdown to midnight tonight for some reason. I'm literally just like got a ring in my ear for that. Like, there's something that's happening. It's going to be like New Year's. It's going to be the true New Year. Starts tonight, like transitioning from the 27th to the 28th, something about counting down to midnight. And it's interesting that I say that because God, my ears just started hurting really bad right now, and I don't know why. Ah, ow, ow, ow. Um, oh God. Usually when I see midnight, I think about, keeping track of your dreams or staying up late or John Lennon, whatever it is. But this moment, the midnight card is definitely telling me something else. Oh my God, but my ears were in so much pain that I don't remember what the fuck I was just saying. It's your time to shine. Oh, the transition this midnight is going to be what makes you feel like things are new and different and happening finally. Like, that's, yeah. Beware, we have zombie here. Control. So you might be dealing with someone with control issues, or you're dealing with someone or something that has control over you. So we want to come into this new year energy, but make sure you have some strong resolutions to deal with this like control issue, whether it's a substance having control over you, or like you wanting control over a partner, or too much screen time, too much scrolling, too much news, too much dooming, right? Anything that basically gets you enslaved to the machine is what you're being warned against here. We also have Night Song, Hidden Talents. So if there's something that you've been wanting to share with the world, you might feel that confidence come as we transition into the midnight hour tonight. Okay. Um, there's something about sharing your gifts, really. Ooh. Fuck the machine. And fuck Gloria too. No, I'm just kidding. Um, so let it shine, let it sing. You have eternal love. Love is love is love, and it transcends physical death. Some people truly are meant to be in your life. Some people are truly meant to be in your life. Last week, we had this card in reverse, and it was about letting go of people who aren't meant to be in your life and realizing that sometimes they come here with you so you can get them the fuck out completely so they never reincarnate with you again. But some people are meant to be there. And right now, I think that we know the difference of who was already cut out and who still remains. And if there's people you try to cut out and they haven't quite gone away, then maybe that's not who needs to be cut. But it's like, it's kind of like only time will tell the true answers. Only time will, only time will prove what bonds to be worthy and which to be unworthy of our time and energy, right? So that might unfold slower over time, but that's the idea, right? So we also have ghost regret. So you might be feeling like, oh, I got to break this bond with this person and yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's great. That's great. I've been trying to banish them in my waking life personally. And I feel like there's some things where it's almost like the universe is giving me contradicting energy or changing it back and forth every day. And it's like, I don't even know what to commit to. I don't know what to be solid on. Like, I need real world results and not just my own faith, hope, and love. Like, I cannot bend my entire way of life around my belief system, So, whatever. I'm like, fine, fucking break them all. I don't give a fuck. I don't care who's been where. I don't care how I feel about who. I don't give a fuck as long as, you know what, I'm protected. I'm gonna make these moves. If it's the wrong one, then they're gonna stop me, you know. But lately, I've just been feeling, oh, it's a very conflicting, contradicting energy where I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm not doing anything anymore. I'm going to cut off what I need to cut off, the veil, the future. I'm going to let it unfold as it's meant to. There's nothing else I can do. Yeah, I believe you. Barmbreck, sweetness and synergy. That's my goal always, is come together, work together, and rekindle, heal. to the point of happiness, right? Being kind and being nice. Goddamn. Werewolf exploring wildness. Yeah. Okay, so we have vampire here, emotional intelligence. That's the thing. If you are dealing with some kind of like vampiric energy, that might be why. Ooh, my ears started ringing again. Who dealing with it? Is there a vampire on here right now? Regretting some things. Look at this. Ghost and regretting the vampire. I didn't even get to shuffle, I don't think. Is there someone on here regretting some shit? That's the thing. Is like, I'm so sorry I drained you of all your energy and stole all your ideas and try to recreate you without actually consenting you for it. I'm so sorry I took everything you were worth and didn't fucking compensate you in any way, shape, or form. If this vent energy vampire is good enough, it is going to make you feel like you shouldn't cut them off. They are going to make you feel like they're the one, or their bond is so important it can't be broken, yada, 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 yada. You got to push past that and look past that. If you know, you know. If you're getting mixed signals, it's because they want you to, bro. They want you to. So let it go. Let the mixed signals be mixed then. That is all. Zombie control. They have control over you in some capacity. Joy. Rejoice in the present moment. So they'll never steal your joy. They can copy you, they can hurt you, they can hex you, they can curse you, but they will never steal your joy. And that's why they keep doing it, most likely. It's because they just want to wipe that motherfucking smile off your face. Big oh well. Big whoop-de fucking do. Big fuck you too. There ain't no way. 222. It's just such a weird. It's gross. It's like, why would you want to do that to someone? Why do you just hang around just to criticize or hate on somebody? I can never imagine watching somebody stream or talk or like even whatever, just hearing what they have to say when 22222 you do nothing but hate them. Like, do you really hate them if you're spending all your time trying to learn about them and you say it so you can get revenge or whatever? But like, that's some bullshit. At this point, you're in love. You don't hate them anymore. If you literally watch that much and stalk that much and you think it's because you're angry and you're mad and all this stuff, no. You are misconstruing your own feelings, man. There's no such thing as hate watching. There's no such thing as hate watching. I'll tell you that. The underworld, where all things pause and begin again. Hades knows what you really like. So do I. Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. It might feel like things, tower moments are kind of coming to life right now, leaving so much behind in that last cycle that you're like, damn, I really feel like I've got nothing. But you're really just creating through those ashes as any good phoenix would. You have trick or treat, mischief and play. Try to see this as a positive sign or a positive opportunity to do these things. Skull of light, illumination. What's done in the dark will come to light. What's done behind your back will come to face you. You know, what you want to know will be made clear for you. That's real. We have the lamp, remembrance. Okay, there might be someone that you need to honor, whether you have an ofrenda or whether you have, whether you want to light a candle or, um, whatever you got to do to honor them. Leave out a shot, leave out, smoke with them, disperse their ashes. You need to hold space or reverence for someone you've lost. We have Strength, Skeleton, and Skull of Light Illumination. When I split the deck once again, those cards have come up a lot this reading. I heard that damn Corgi again. Yeah, I didn't. Ghost, regret. Yeah, you are in regret or someone's in regret over you. It is almost Easter. I totally wasn't even thinking about that, but you're right. Yeah. Creation. Midnight. That's what I'm saying. I feel like it really starts at midnight tonight. Night song. Sing it, girl. Joy. Sing your joy. Earth. Happiness in our hearts and homes. It's going to be really important to be comfortable in your space. It's really important to make it what you want it to be. Cleaning, cleansing, organizing, altering, whatever it is, reorganizing, rearranging, like now is the time to fucking do it. Okay. We also have, unfortunately for all of you, we have a Lady de los Muertos here, acceptance and equality. This does mean you owe me a tip. It does not have to be monetary, but she does come for payment. So if she's showing up, it means this reading was definitely personal to you and it was worth it to you. And if you're already subscribed, think of that as your regular payment that you attribute to me and Lady. Not. Better find a way. If you ain't got money, then you don't have to pay, but you do have to give up a little something, right? Like a shout out or a follow or a, membership on my channels, etc. And if you don't, I'll never know. I will never know. I don't know who's watching, but Lady will know. It's not somebody you want to pick off, I'll tell you that much, according to the entire underworld. Yeah. That vampire's back. Just kidding. I'm not accusing any of you of being a vampire. Why would I? No, so we have invisibility and authenticity. Who are you behind closed doors when the curtains go up and the cloaks come off? Okay, that's kind of what we were discussing very briefly earlier when someone had mentioned the sheer honesty that I have on this channel and how it takes a lot to be able to stream because it's such an honest thing to do. So I would say not to question yourself by any means, but to see this card of authenticity show up. It's just a reminder to really analyze yourself, analyze your data, your content, your output, whether you're at work, online, or, a speaker or something. Like, it doesn't matter. Are you being your genuine self when you get in front of a crowd? From a business meeting to a performance to a persona. Are you being true of who you are when those things are off, when those things are not around, when those things are not there to sort of like dictate which way you're going? How much of what you post or put out there is a true reflection of yourself? Okay. So that's Aries season. The Aries energy is very honest. Like, sure, they're impulsive and shit, but Aries are honest people. In fact, maybe a little too honest. And the ones who lie are probably the ones who drank. Be real. Trick or treat, mischief and play. Mischief and play. I'm just teasing. Happy Aries season. Okay. But we also have Apple risk and reward. If you never take a bite, you'll never know how it tastes. If you don't take a leap of faith, you'll never know how it works out. We also unveil again the future. So if you don't take a bite now, you'll never know what you were missing later. If you don't go for it, you'll never know what you were missing, right? You'll never know how it could have been. So you need to just take the opportunities, take the bite, take the apple. Yeah? Oh, I see wise action and trick or treat again, mischief and play. Something about that, just not being too serious right now, which is more or less contradictory to everything that I fucking believe. I'm a very serious person, and yeah, I'm really goofy. Invisibility again, authenticity. You don't make your moves and act now and embrace this change in this time and these seasonal waves. Thank you. Then you certainly will have some regrets about the dreams you didn't chase. We have mummy change. Once again, try to embrace it the best you can. As much as you may have not felt the difference between Pisces season and Aries season, I guarantee you by the end of the day today, you will. You absolutely fucking will. The veil, the future is now. It's about to be unveiled. It's about to be revealed to us. It's that first week of April, it's very strong. It's very strong. And the closer we get, the more you'll feel it, right? And so even though Aries season already started, it's just kind of ramping up a bit. Starting the whole year over, waking up, coming out of hibernation. It takes a lot of energy to bloom. It takes a lot of energy to sing. Okay, so yeah, just focus on you, kings and queens and queens and queens, queens. Skull of Stars, infinite possibilities being revealed below. Yeah, this is the only face. The last card was a face down card, and it is the Skull of Stars, infinite possibilities. So you may not even realize it now or can even perceive it now, but there is ample opportunity about to be revealed in this new energy. So as much as we waited for it to be Aries season, and this first week has a lot of us still dragging, still emotional, still in our feelings, still undecided, unbelieving, whatever it is, that will change. It's just some seasons take a little longer to kick in, right? And this is a big one. Going from the end of one cycle to the beginning of the next cycle, of course it's going to take a little longer to adjust, like naturally, you know. I've always thought or noticed that when the air sign, or I'm sorry, the earth signs come up, the changes are very abrupt and blunt and abrupt. Okay, like when it goes from Aries to Taurus season, you feel it immediately. The vibe changes, probably because it's 420 that day, right? So everybody's fucking high shit, just enjoying life. Big Taurus energy, right? Same with Capricorn season. It seems very much like that last day of Capricorn season is the absolute last motherfucking day of Cap season. Virgo season, it seems like you go from partying all Leo season to being like, gotta get my shit together right now. So some of the transitions between seasons are very, very precise, and some are a little more skewed, a little more blurred lines. So right now, if you're like, I don't feel the difference, this is all bullshit, I don't feel the Aries energy, I'm not feeling the fire, I don't get it, I don't have passion, just give it a little more time. Not even that much more time. It's already been almost a whole week now. By the time the 28th hits, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I do see it. Okay, there are results. All right, I'm convinced. That kind of thing. Kind of general energy. The future will become a lot more obvious. So this little pile came out. I hate this right now. You have no idea how much I fucking hate this right now because it's exactly what I was talking about earlier. And this is what is part of what's making things difficult is it's not just being indecisive, even if your nature is slightly indecisive. This is about not even just being tested, but again, there's this energy of like, could be a vampire kind of energy of somebody who's just trying to suck the life out of you, trying to confuse you. I think like a psychic Pokemon, right? Uh, It's, it's left its opponent confused. It's like, what does that even mean? It's like, oh, now we get it, right? Now that we're older and we practice, now we get it. Okay. So this confusion, to some extent, is divine. We have the underworld here, right? And it is meant to test you. It's meant to make you stronger in your mind. It's meant to make you, forgiveness, reducing burden. It's meant to make you see things differently. It's meant to make you question things while also becoming more decisive. Okay. Skull of Darkness, blind spots. There's gonna be some things that come up that are unexpected. Okay. Your loved ones will be there for you. Once again, honor them, light the candle, build the ofrenda, do what it is that you have to do to honor them, but honor them no less. Go to their mass, Catholics do that. We'll do masses in honor of people who passed away. Spider, community of web weaving. Go to the places they loved. Go to the places you went together. Go connect with the people they were in touch with, the person who passed, right? Honor them in some way, and they will come through and help you, especially if you're dealing with an energy vampire. So while we were saying they can never take your joy, same exact cards as earlier. The energy vampire and joy. They can take as much as they want, but they can never take your joy. That is so beautiful. Look, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. um, count up, count down, whatever it is. They can never take that from you. So smile in their wicked fucking faces. But what's so funny to me, skeleton strength, using all the strength you have to reject this, to keep your joy, to keep the smile on your face, to not let these things get to you. This is what becomes confusing to me. And this is exactly what I was talking about, how I am personally fucking over it and done with tarot. But the messages come through just as strong as ever. And so I know that it's not something that they suddenly don't work anymore. But I personally feel like I'm not getting any fucking clarity out of it for me personally. If you're feeling like you're getting clarity, it's because it's meant for you. And I'm not saying every general reading I do is meant for me anyways, but even if I do a personal reading or whatever, it's like very contradictory energy. So while in this reading we talked about cutting people off and not continuing cycles and bringing them here just to never bring them anywhere again in the reincarnation way, right? I got this pile fell out in the reverse, face down in the reverse. So eternal love is the first thing in the reverse. Okay, so let's say you cut this person off. Now ancestors in reverse. So that's not what y'all wanted me to do. Okay, so I did it anyway. Now you're no longer protected. Now you no longer have that aura of protection. No, not really. Um, Great. Okay. And scrying, intuition. Your whole you made the if that was what you intuitively felt like you needed to do, then your intuition is off, buddy. That is not the move. Midnight in reverse and night song in reverse. Like, even though this is a time, this sounds so crazy and so confusing. But even though this is a time to cut people off and really decide where your boundaries are, who's gonna get a second chance and who isn't, there is also this warning, which is so intense because again, we're trying to change things and do better for ourselves, and in that, surround ourselves with the wise seeing of wise actions, right? But this is a very foreboding, ominous message saying, should you choose the wrong person to cut off, you'll ruin your whole fucking life. Like, cool. Thank you. Great. Love to see it. Fucking love that. Like, what the hell? Goddamn. It's almost like there's no winning, but there's also no losing. But there is losing. It's just if you don't win. But if you don't win, it's because you weren't listening. You didn't do the right thing, but you're trying to do the right thing by listening, but you don't know what you're hearing, etc., etc. Very confusing time. But Skull of Light, illumination. All of these things that you're unsure about right now will start to become clearer and clearer as the days go on. Sure. I don't know much about Phantom of the Opera. I think I saw like the cartoon version when I was super duper young, and I found it a bit boring, if I'm honest. But I was literally a child. Yeah. So have the strength to carry on, but just know what you're walking away from before you walk. Yeah, basically. Yeah, I think so. Vampire, right. Zombie. Vampire and zombie. Would you rather be somebody's food or be a slave to the machine? Like, it's. Yeah, I don't know. So there's that. This was kind of on its side, but it's the same cards we just had. Where it's like there's still a possibility of infinite possibility, as there is still a chance that you'll do the right thing and do that and stop keeping the secret and be a little more outward and go for it and trust your intuition. But we're getting to the point where you're not quite there. You've just, rather than shutting down or ignoring your intuition, but not quite fully trusting it outright, you're kind of in the middle where you're like, well, maybe sometimes it's accurate. Maybe I could be more open to the idea of this, right? So cool. I think I'm gonna put this deck away. Do the last shuffle and see where we're at. What movie? Are you watching Phantom of the Opera right now? What movie? Or you mean life movie? That's depressing. Ooh. Forgiveness again. Funny. Who do I need to block? Source. I've blocked so many people lately. Right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put this deck away. Oh, dropping cards, but that'll be for that end of the week reading that we do. All right. So if you're just tuning in, welcome. Thank you. I just got finished with a little Halloween Oracle reading. We have about 10 minutes until I gotta roll my ads, in which the pre-roll timer will go off and we will have no control over when they play. Phantom of the Opera. Okay, no cards are coming out. I feel like it's great. All right. Halloween Oracle done. All these little cards. Now I will leave out until we collect a few more. All right. How was that for everybody? Who's here? I know it's not just me and Source. Damn. What's going on, y'all? How's it going? You are here. Okay. Y'all were just being respectfully quiet. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, so what else is up? What's good? People, what's going on? I need to drink this water. I need to rip this bong, man. What the fuck? I don't need to smoke weed. But again, sometimes it's like it makes the readings flow a little bit nicer and it's kind of like it makes me feel more calm. I feel like I got so hungry doing that reading, and it's probably because I was using so much my own energy instead of like checking out and letting spirit run through me. I feel like I notice the difference when I do it soberly and when I do it stonedly. And as much as people think like, oh, weed affects you so much and affects your work and blah blah blah. Not this kind of work, let me tell you. Not a lot of the kind of work that I've ever done. I've been a stoner since I've been working. So I ain't never had a job I couldn't do stoned as fuck. What I'm saying. Oh, it tastes so good. I switched out my water. Didn't really fully clean it, but I did a little Handy Sandy shake. This is getting so much better too in here, which I'm super excited about. Right. And I'm good enough, like I said, I'm good enough to not need it, but it does feel like it takes out more from me, when I'm sober. So 4 for 4. 2, 3, 4. All of the angel numbers. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Hey, how long you been here? Lunch drinker? What is that, by the way? Spaghetti coming out of a computer or pasta facts? Copy pasta. No? I don't know. What the fuck is PSI balls? Isn't PSI how you gauge your pressure tire? Tire pressure, I mean. A PSI. I've never met a tabby that wasn't cuddly at all, but that's crazy. What? What? I thought, like I said, I thought that the PSI was like pressure. Something. I don't fucking know. I guess especially don't know in terms of energy. So either way, um, yeah. So that's cool. Love that. Sometimes I feel like sometimes I feel like I don't want to even use my energy. Like, I don't know. There's a fine line, isn't there, of like practicing and holding your own and letting it be known who you are versus like drawing attention to yourself because you have a strong energy or strong aura. That's something that I'm slightly torn on in a way where it's like I could see how this would be useful if I just went out in the world and let my power be revealed or let it be known. But then I also see how being under the radar, being undercover, being sort of unnoticed can also benefit. However, in my lifetime, it feels like the strong will survive. Yeah. I was literally not gonna say those words, but I was gonna say that playing weak has led me to nothing. Like people, well, that's what they say. What does that even mean? We talked about the meek shall inherit the earth, didn't we, at the beginning of the year, like winter year? That's so funny that you bring that up, but it does feel like pretending to have no power. Not even pretending, but just not being in tune with my own power or like giving myself any credit. Hmm. There you go. Um, who says the meek can't be strong, right? But yeah, it's sort of like that, I think, is I don't know. It's not that I want to have to exert power or instill fear into people by any means. Like, who would want that? I don't know. Some people do want that, and that blows my mind. I think as someone who incidentally instills fear into people, you know, like because I get these like crazy rage modes, like it can be really scary when I'm unhinged, I guess. And being like that, I can't imagine why people would want that. It's like so hard and so painful sometimes to like be seen as some kind of out of control monster or someone that can't be trusted or that people are uneasy around. And some people literally want to be feared, you know. And out of defense, like a long time ago, I would think that I would rather be feared than loved, so to speak, but I think it's just because I was feared and not loved. Like I don't think it was really a conscious choice I wanted, but just an accept something that I accepted. That's cool, yeah. Well, I got Planet Illy. Y'all know about Planet Illy, don't you? I'll drop the link right now. This is my website. It's built through Wix, so it's not some sketchy coded thing. It's very trustworthy and reputable. You can actually sign up to become a member on my website, in which you'll be able to access our forums. The forums are pretty cool. They're a little slow right now, but like, get it while it's hot, get it while it's fresh. It's a new thing. You kind of want to get in before it's gone. It's not going to be gone, it's just going to be harder. Webby site, baby. So, anyway, I got like 4 minutes until the pre rolls go off. So, I'm just going to run the ads now before we get into anything else. Let me know if y'all feel like chatting or if you want to get back into tarot mode. I feel like the messages were going really well. So, I'm down to do more with a different deck because I did put away the Halloween Oracle. So, if there's anything else that's calling out, or any kind of word or something subject pertaining to what you want to know, do drop it down below. I'll be back in about 3 minutes or so. Okie dokie. Nobody said anything. So since I just did an hour of Halloween Oracle, I guess I'm gonna go into chat mode. How's everybody doing? What's going on? What are we feeling? Were we digging the reading? Do we want anything else? Is there any other decks? We just wanted the Halloween Oracle. I don't think it's a night to channel any of the deceased, honestly. Um, that just hasn't been coming up much at all lately. Still can't figure out why. Still not quite sure what I'm missing in that regard. But either way, what's up, everybody? Doing good, very high. Down for whatever still. Cool. So we're in chat mode for the moment. Yeah, thanks, y'all. The only two people talking to me. 8 people watching, 2 people talking. Those are some funny statistics, don't you think? Just kidding. Y'all are more than welcome to lurk. I get that it's big on Twitch to just kind of watch and such things. Anyways, how's everybody doing? We're just in chat mode right now. I did put the cards away. We can still do more tarot. I'm down. I just decks that I just really care about right now. So what's good? Oh, I feel like I should eat more. Should have snacked more. I know, but it's more about like what do you want to know? Like what's bothering you? And not like specifically just like, oh, it's love, oh, it's work, oh, it's life. There you go. Thank you. Right. It's really you don't need to know I use the mystery or you don't need to remember I use the mystery deck to like know that. Um all right. Well, since we'll stay in chat mode for another like 30 minutes and then I'll break out the mystery deck. I might have to eat though. I might have to have a little snack actually before we do that. They're going to be really irritable. I also do need to remember to get the LaCroix because it's a lot easier to channel aliens when I have a little carbonation in me. Makes it easier to float. Swear to God. I don't even know if it's like not that it's true, none of it's true to an extent, right? Like none of it's real in a tangible way. So there's no possible way to like prove or know anything, but I notice that the more I'm channeling, the more likely it is that I'm drinking a carbonated beverage. So I do feel like there's something about it that helps lift the mind or the spirit. I like wish I was joking and I'm not, so that's kind of funny. Um, that's what's up. That's what's up. When it comes to aliens and conspiracies, we can start with conspiracies now. Is there anything that comes to mind personally that you like want to put out there on the table? Or my favorite conspiracies are the ones that directly involve me. How so? What do you mean? That's interesting. That's really interesting. Where in what context do you mean that? Like in any context, it's interesting because carbonated beverages are so fucking popular and easily accessible, and pushed more than any other beverages, right? Yeah, I feel like I'm into the conspiracies that come upon me rather than the ones I come upon. Like I've never gotten lost in a conspiracy rabbit hole or haven't in a really long time. Um, because once again, my life feels like conspiracy sometimes. So it's like, what? I don't need the stress of someone else's, quite frankly. Um, kind of funny to think, but at the end of the day, a little bit true. Say, um, cool. I'm too hungry. I gotta go. I know I just took an ad break, but I had some other stuff to do during the ad break, and now this time I need to eat something. I already have my food. I need to eat it, or heat it up at least. I have it ready to eat. So I'm sorry I just ran ads. I'm gonna add more. This, you know what? This is the time where usually I take my extended break. So I'll be back it shouldn't be too long, but I might just pop in and roll ads again because, like I said, I'm about to heat it up, so it might just be like in and out for a minute. But then we are going to use the mystery deck. We'll try to channel some aliens. Lately, I noticed like same with the Halloween Oracle, in the same way that I haven't been able to like talk to dead people. I feel like lately I haven't really been channeling the aliens either, and it's been mostly twin flame readings when I use that deck. No matter what the intention is. So hopefully we get something good out of them tonight, rather than the same old, tired, old bullshit ass twin flame narrative. So fucking overdone, overworked. But hey, they insisted. So 3 minutes. I'll be back to check in, see how far along I got with the food situation. Um, mhm. Right. Okay. So yeah, we should definitely discuss that. That's so weird. I've never heard that. How much science is behind it? Like, that's so interesting that this is coming up, and I would say that I feel that way. So, all right, let's prepare. It's about to get interesting. Hey, thanks, Kitsune. You always think of me for your raids. Appreciate that. Hello, hello. For real, thank you. I totally understand after a long night of tarot, you're off to bed. But over here, we're still working it, so welcome, anybody and everybody, to The Last Man Standing. Just kidding. I'm sure there's other people on here still. Um, yeah. Don't mind my mug change. I was sharing my coffee. And I'm gonna have soup. I'm heating up my soup so I can eat so we can get back to the tarot. But I will not be doing tarot until I do that, and it's gonna be a few minutes. So, right at this current moment, we are just here to chit chat for a few minutes intermittently between um, that and the readings. So, I was just using the Halloween Oracle, which is the deck that I use for channeling messages from the deceased, as well as shadow self readings and Dark Night of the Soul insights. So we just got finished up with the Halloween Oracle, and that's kind of why I'm like, damn, I'm starving and didn't realize it. And just chatting for now. You see this pink box, it's always going to mean we're in chat mode. And once it's in the turquoise box, you'll know that we're like doing actual readings in the moment. When I read, it's very general. Everybody stays pretty quiet. I don't take well to interruptions necessarily, because I don't do personal readings. But if you just like stick around and pay attention, you'll find that a lot of them seem super personal, anyways, right? Especially because I am a bit of a smaller channel, so that's not lost on me. And I appreciate the views and y'all being here. So hopefully you want to stick around. No, don't say that. Oh man, you're just saying that because there's other people here. You're like, oh, maybe someone else will chat and I can finally go to bed. As I'm doing all this so we could do the deck you chose. Yeah, so what was on the agenda next was the mystery deck, and the mystery deck's basically my most hardcore or highest level top tier decks. I use it specifically for channeling messages from gods, goddesses, guides, and galactics. Thank you, and also you. Um, but it's also designated for twin flame readings for the same reason. So because it's my galactics deck, the galactics are the ones who said you do twin flame readings now, and that's how I got into them. So I was like, no, I don't. That's some stupid scammer, fake love and light reader stuff. Like that ain't it. And they said it is it. Twin flames are cosmic connections, and therefore, when you are dealing with the cosmos, you will read for people who are in those types of situations. And I was like, damn, that sucks, but okay. And now I like them, but lately, every time I use the mystery deck, it's been a twin flame reading, and the message seems to be repetitive. And that's a lot of times the trouble with twin flame connections is half the time you're dealing with a false flame, and the other half the time you're not even speaking. So it's like, don't hold up, don't wait. Just go about living your life, especially knowing that a lot of twin flame connections are sort of destined to take a long time or to be towards, not necessarily towards the end of your life, but at least one of you, right? It's usually the thing with twin flame connections, they take a long time to come together and they burn, like a flame. So that's real as fuck. But that's often like our karmic relationships, right? So that'll come up with the demons. Sometimes I feel like sometimes the twins are, I don't think so at all. I think sometimes it is absolutely parasitic. I think sometimes the twin flames can be parasitic because there's certain steps or evolutions you have to have or take as an individual before you can come in a union with the other person who's supposedly your very equal, complete match. And basic concept, as I learned it through the readings that I did, was that there is some point of adversity but also that it is supposed to be more rewarding than anything, you know, where you go on your journeys with your soulmates. Those are the people you know for 20 plus years, the thing or the connections that you love the most. Exactly, exactly, exactly. Let's get into that too. Um, karmics are there to teach you something and be in and out, but the twin flame is sort of like once you learned all those lessons, met all those people, gone through that journey, you get to meet that person, or be with that person. A lot of times you know them for a really long time before you're with them, but it's like, yeah. Um, so right, it is so valid to not want to be connected to someone who isn't there for you and to not want to be somebody's final prize instead of be there with someone as they evolve or grow, right? And like to think, oh, we might only get 10, because again, really great examples of a twin flame connection would be like not Megan Fox and MGK. Holy fucking shit. No, absolutely not. The audacity that they would even call themselves that is like such a red flag, right? Because of how fucking openly toxic they are and how much they are torturing each other mentally and emotionally and seems like somewhat physically, right? Like, no, 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 no. That would be a probably a good example of someone mimicking, right? Is like Megan wanted that and MGK wanted Megan, so he was able to falsify that connection and be the signs that she wanted to see in somebody, right? Not good. Twin flame relationships are smooth sailing. Your biggest challenges come from the outside, not the inside, right? So, better example, and my only example I can really think of right now would be Lou Reed and Laurie Anderson. Like his third wife, her first love, or like I don't know, she just has no relationship status, and then one day she's with Lou Reed, and they're like in their 60s when they finally get together and meet or whatever, right? Imagine they knew each other. They were both fucking performing musical artists in New York in the 70s and 80s, right? So like, how did they not know each other? They probably did, but Lou was usually married or whatever, right? Needed him to grow up. He's a Pisces. It takes forever. Okay. She's a Gemini, probably not any better. Really, probably never wanted to settle down. Never thought she would, I'm guessing. Okay, so they finally get together. He was like, I think they got together around 2003, got married in 2008, and then he died in 2013. Like something like that. Maybe it was 2016. He died. Okay, him and Leonard Cohen both died when I was working in a job that I worked at both those 2 years. No, 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 moved on. So you'll see, like, that's a really great example of a twin flame connection where, like, they were perfect for each other, but not until they went through all these other lessons, had all these other heartbreaks and all these other chances. All this time passed before they were together. Then they finally were together. They made beautiful music. They got along great. They had like no drama surrounding their relationship. And they finally get married. It's his third time's a charm. Never thought this would happen, respectively, for each of them. And then 10 years in, boom, he's dead. And of course he was like 70 something and like was a former heroin addict. So getting to be to your 60s or 70s or however old he was, I think he was 71 when he died. That's incredible. He should have not even probably lived that long. So the fact that he got to live that long and have that relationship with Laurie Anderson was like worth every moment. It was worth every divorce. It was worth every penny. Okay, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure. I feel like maybe that's him talking, right? So I think that's a great example of a twin flame connection and how sometimes like 3-1-3-1-3-1. How sometimes that's not the greatest. Amen. Yeah. So it's not maybe the longest lasting, but it is the greatest, right? It's maybe not the happiest, but it's the deepest, Yeah. And it was worth it, even if it was only this to experience it at all, to only have it for so long, no regrets, either one of them. I doubt Laurie Anderson's getting remarried. Like, she probably wouldn't never gonna get married. She's a Gemini. Stayed single through the 60s, 70s, and 80s. As far as I know, maybe she was married before, but I'm pretty sure Lou Reed was the only time she was married. So, very beautiful feeling. But again, short lived relationship because they met so late in life and because he was a recovered addict, Recovery kills people. He recovered way before he died, but Jerry Garcia died in recovery, right? So it happens. But yeah, that's I can't think of many other examples of twin flame connections in real life, but that's one that really stands out to me. But that's like because that's my example, you would be able to spot one now, right? I think another one, I don't know why this just came to my mind because I don't even know if this is the right couple, but Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta Jones. And it's like, I don't know who's telling me that other than the goddamn aliens, right? And maybe I don't even know if they're married. I know he's got a wife that's like significant. It is, yeah. So there's a good chance that they're twin flames. I don't know much about their marriage. And they've been together for over 20 years. So it's not like you die suddenly, whatever, 10 years from now, but um something tells me that they're twin flames. It's kind of crazy. I don't know why, because like I said, I don't really know anything about their marriage, and it's not just going to be age. Well, that's the thing. Age gap's a good indication because, like, yeah, she'll probably live for decades after him. He's already 78 years old, and I think she's only like 54, right? So it doesn't have to be short lived, but there's some sort of disparity. Like, yeah, if they're 25 years apart, then there's gonna probably be a good portion of life where she lives without him, and she knows that going into it, and it's very sad. So they're not always short-lived, but there's just some sort of adversity outside of the relationship or within, because age can be sort of a disparity within the relationship as much as it is outside of the relationship, right? So that's interesting. They popped in my head again. Really don't know anything about them. And, like, honestly, I think it's kind of gross and weird that they've been together since 1998 and she was born in 69. So, like, if you're doing the math, it's like she was not that old when they met. But they stayed together this whole time. So it's like, who is to say it's not legit, right? Like, that's what's really wild. Like, do the math. 69 to 98. At least, okay, so she was 30, almost 30, 29. Maybe that's not that bad. Am I doing the math right? Yeah. Okay, she was closer to 30. I was thinking that was only 20, but it's 30. So that's not so bad. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's a huge fucking age gap to like overcome and be with that person for 20 fucking plus years. That's wild. So something popped in my head about them that they might be. Yeah, partially it is. I would love to actually explore that topic of gossip, but actually, let me check on my soup and see if I can eat something before I get too into anything. I'll be right back.